boys that they have already come to manhood. For the girls, too, this is a time of testing, of proving. Every teenage girl likes to flirt because it makes her feel more of a woman. Sometimes this proving of manhood is, for the boy, merely showing off with false words of flattery. A girl can flirt but still know the boy is not saying true things. She does not have to go with just any man who wants her. She can know when it is time to say, "You are not yet a man, my friend. You only think you are." But not everyone can be so lucky as to understand these things. If there is no happiness in the home, if there is too little love and understanding and respect, then a young girl or a young man may leap impulsively into marriage with anyone, desiring only to escape the misery of the parents' home, to grasp for pleasure, to feel important. Such a marriage, born out of desperation, made without thought, can doom the young man and woman to a life of unhappiness. A tree cannot have deep roots in a hard, unfriendly soil. A child cannot have healthy roots in a house full of anger. Sometimes children retreat from anger into themselves, into a blind, hopeless apathy. Such a child cannot flourish. Sometimes children can build a refuge of warmth and love for themselves that will protect them from the anger in such a house. But a child must do something to escape anger. He cannot live with it. It hurts too much. And sometimes he will defend himself from anger with more anger, with defiance. For some men, turning an angry face to the world is a way of feeling important, neither for his son nor for himself. Can such a one be a true man? There has not always been anger and hatred in this house. The constant disappointments come because each expects from the other more than he or she can give. Too many children, too much fighting, too much anger have made of this woman a nagging, bitter wife, and of the husband a selfish bully. This is not just one of the little squabbles of everyday married life. This twisted, crooked kind of anger is bad for a man, bad for a woman, bad for children. And the children in such a home may try to escape the anger, perhaps before they are old enough, by doing just what their parents did, marrying in haste, without thought, without understanding, without love.
Yeah, it's me. It is me. I am the chair guy. People have been calling me that for like a year now. I don't know why, really. I don't know why they've been doing that. I'm gonna be real with you. It started with a nickname. No, it's a nickname. It started when people were asking me what to call me, and I said my name is in the fucking channel name. What are you on about? It's clearly Charis Euphranor. And somebody wrote chair, and I was like, that's not me. It's not chairs, it's Charis. It's a little different. Chairs implies that's, first of all, that's a stupid name, and second of all that implies like I misspelt my own name. And so I was like, that's not who I am. That's not what this is about. You gotta fix this. And then people were like, "Can we call you chairman instead? Then does that work?" And I said, "Okay, sure." And now it's been here for a while now. Hi, chairs. Fuck you. Hello, everyone. We're streaming. Because who wants to philosophize while standing up? Certainly not the statue. That's true. That's true. I have a... Shit. Does this dox me? This might dox me. Never mind. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'll tell you that I've been to, what's this called? Musée Rodin in, like, France. It's in Paris, I think. It's in Paris. I believe, that's the original Thinker statue, and I've been there. It was pretty cool. Doxed, he's from Europe. I was gonna say something a little more damning, but yeah, I was there like a while ago. I'm not gonna say like when, but I was there a while ago. And I thought the statue was pretty cool. The fact that it's like, it's the icon of philosophy, I think is really weird. Because it wasn't made by a philosopher. It certainly wasn't made, it wasn't commissioned by a philosopher. And when it was made, it was not intended to represent philosophy in any way. It was merely like this, it was part of the collection, this collection from Dante's Inferno, I think. It was meant to represent that. And then, for some reason, every single philosophy department in the world decided that's us. For real, for real. It's like me. It's like they looked at the statue and thought, that's me for real, for real. The same way I looked at Ryan Gosling from Project Hail Mary and thought that's me for real, for real. Sorry, that was my mouse. Ignore that. It's an artistic representation of thought. Yeah, but it's not the only one. So I'm surprised that as just one of many artistic expressions of thought, we have decided this is the one. This is it. Nothing else. Like, really? This one? Go to sauna and base build. What? I don't know what that is. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, before we go into the flipping of a house, I just want to show you my house. This is my house tour. So remember how I said I got evicted a while ago? Well, I've moved into a new place now. This is my new place, okay? Are you ready? It's the same place. I fooled you. I got you. There's my laptop, which I need to use for work. This is my bed, right? Okay. This is my I don't know what that is. I think it's soup. And that's my gun. And that's my house. I've also have a nice bathroom here. Look at that. That's a nice shower, isn't it? It's a cool shower. And a toilet. And like a radiator. Isn't that sick? And I have to like, I have to like get in there to close the door and then I can use the... Yeah, like this is... There you go. That's my house tour. Thank you everyone for coming to my house. Your voice sounds a little shot today and I feel bad. You don't have to feel bad, Tia, because it's not your fault at all. I don't know how... I know why you're saying this, and I can't... I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about. You should have a gun, as any good American should. Yeah, but I'm not American, so I just wanted to remind everyone that I'm not American. Why is there no mirror in the washroom? Because I think what matters is like inward reflection. It's thinking about who you are as the inside. It's really the mirror in your soul that counts. What do you mean there is a mirror in the bathroom? Anyways, so we're gonna flip a house. We're gonna go flip a house. I don't know what we do. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. How about there's several nuclear... You know what? Let's do a nuclear bunker. Let's do a nuclear bunker. I feel like that's relevant. That's I feel like this is information that might benefit all of us. Perhaps in the near future, or maybe right now, if you are so fortunate, considering recent World events. You know what? You might need to know how to build a nuclear bunker. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Last week, my dear sweet wife decided that her mom will live with us. So I determined that a perfect place for our lovely mother would be a cold metal construction deep underground. To cut a long story short, I want to place her in the bunker. It's all for the sake of safety, of course. For mom to move in, minimal facilities are needed there: a bed, bathroom, and kitchen. And when I write minimal, I really mean minimal. Don't overdo it with comfort, because I think, mom won't honor us with her presence for long. It would be nice if you added some apocalypse survival items in there, because it would make it easier to convince my wife that it's all for safety reasons. Signed, the one waiting for his lovely mom to move in, son-in-law. Let's do that. Charis, did you know that they're showing the last 2 episodes of Digital Circus in theaters? Are they now? I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's interesting. Your accent sounds rather American/Canadian. That's because I grew up watching Mr. Beast videos, because I'm actually like 5 years old right now. And as a child, I was put on the iPad, and the only thing I was exposed to was like was content. And that's how I learned to speak. And that's why I sound a little bit like Mr. Beast. That's why, okay? Don't question it. It's because I'm Alexandrian, and you don't need to know anything more than that. We went from 60 to 5. Yeah, because I figured, like, halfway through the sentence, I figured, like, you're expecting me to say that I'm 60 years old, so I'm actually going to say I'm 5 years old. Which I now have to declare, for legal reasons, is untrue, because if I were 5 years old and streaming and accepting money from people, that would be illegal, I think. So, I need to say that legally I am above the age that it is required and necessary to receive money from online internet strangers and to live stream myself talking over YouTube. I need to declare that legally. So Mr. Beast raised you? Yeah, like all of the other kids that are growing up nowadays. So I don't see why you're too surprised. Like, we're all brothers and sisters, and you know, we're all siblings. We all share the same actual parent, who's Mr. Beast. You know? You're of legal age in Minecraft.
Carrot. Man, this 5-year-old sure knows his legal terms and conditions, /s.
I learned all that from Legal Eagle. Let's open up the garage, and let's see what's up in there. Hold to pick up the car? Why would I want to pick up the car? Use. Wow! Okay, alright, hold on, we're just gonna... Okay, so the house is nice. There's, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with the house.
Hi, sorry I'm late. How's your dementia treating you?
Hello, Anna. You're late? Well, guess what? You're getting demodded because you're late. You're very welcome. That's what you get for being late, I guess. You lose all your mod rights forever, actually. Like, forever. He's accepted his place as the baby of philosophy. Because I'm 60, and you guys are like, well, I'm 3,000, and I can't compete with that. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. You can be 3,000. You can be 3,000. That's okay. I'll be 60. Okay, I'm 60. That's who I am. I'm not going to go back on my, like, canon age, okay? I'm not going back on that. I can sleep in their bed. Okay, I'm going to, like, just... There's nothing to do here. What if I slept in their bed until the next morning? That's crazy that you can do that. Alright. Well. What do we do now? I guess explore. You know what the stupidest part of this stream, and me subsequently, is that this was the perfect way. This was the perfect stream. This was the perfect game to play on my return from hiatus, like a few weeks ago, when I was like evicted, right? This would have been the perfect game to play. I don't know why. Like, I just thought, okay, I'm back and I kind of want to do a just chatting stream, but I want to play a game in the background. I'm going to play Power Wash Simulator, which is, you know, it's a good game for this. But like, it could not have been more appropriate. There could not have been a more appropriate time to play house flipper than having just been evicted from my, at the time, place of residence. So, like, the fact that it slipped my mind. I clicked on my Steam and I was like, oh, I've got house flipper. I could maybe do that. And I saw it was like last played November. I thought, oh my god, I haven't played it in so long. I could have played it like 2 weeks ago. What? No matter. It's no matter. It's no matter. We're here now. We're doing this. We're here now. We're doing this. Okay. Forever, and it'll be like the season 4 Walking Dead stream when I'm next modded. Yeah, which is not gonna be like, you know, in a long
Should have
time.
played Kook Stimulator XD.
But then you guys are going to treat it like it is forever. Also, hello, Lynn. Should have played Cuck Stimulator. I'm not doing that. I'm fucking. Why did I read that? Hello. What is that? What? That's not a real thing. That sounds like something I've seen before. Hold on. Well, what is that? I know Bum Simulator. Well, they're like free games. Hold on. Let me get these free games first. On Steam. Add to account. Success. Okay. Living Forest. This game looks like ass. Wait, it might be good actually. Is this multiplayer? It's not for free. Wait, it is for free. It's 80% off, and but then it's also free right now. All right, whatever. Okay. Cook Simulator. Life is a beta male carp.
We have a serious problem. I missed stream D.
You didn't miss stream. I'm right here. What are you talking about, Lucky? What the fuck is this? Oh. Okay, so it's like... Okay, okay. I don't know about this game, man. Like, I understand from the get-go that there's like, you know, that it's meant to be like a joke, a jokey type game. Like it's, but like it's also, it has a lot of like harmful and like you know what I mean? Like it's clearly like a parody, but it also seems a game of ill intent. Do you know what I mean? It's got like harmful stereotypes in there. So I couldn't even like condone it as a joke, I think, because it's sort of, yeah, it's not very it's not quite in good taste. All right, okay.
What?
Well,
no mods for House Flipper? What if there are spoilers and backseating in chat?
if anyone spoils House Flipper for me, then I'll mod them. You can have that if you want. I missed the start. I said, what did I say in the start? I said I should have, I don't know what I said. What did I say?
Spoiler. The house dies.
The house dies? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Spoiler. House market crashes in 2008.
Oh my god, it does? No! It already happened! Because if it didn't happen, then it would have been useful information, but it did! Now I can do nothing with this hindsight. I hate hindsight. I wish I had foresight instead. I could see in the future. And like actually make my decisions that way. I forgot what I was doing in this game. I'm supposed to make a bunker. Sorry. I also forgot what I was supposed to be talking about. Okay, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Okay. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's just 68% dirt. We've done that now. Why is there like give lights on? I forgot this part of the game. I forgot. Oh,
My favorite
sorry.
content, House Husband.
I'm sorry. Ugh. House husband indeed, that's me. Ah! Ugh. Yeah, just go it. Just get it. Just get it. Just get it. Oh, that's gross. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Ah, oh fuck. Oh god. Go, 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 go. Okay, okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Hold on. Hold on. This is
Morning.
Okay. Can we not? Can I not like stick my arm out further away? I don't like that I have to be so close to these guys. Oh my god. Ah! We have to be done. That has to be it. That's gotta be it. Right? There's more! We got it, we got it, we got it. Oh, oh. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's gross. Oh, sorry. Sorry, where were we? Sorry, I forgot I wasn't muted. I forgot I was sorry. Hello? Hi everyone, we're streaming today. I'm streaming a video game. I'm playing a video game and I'm streaming it. Are you afraid of cockroaches? I used to not... Okay. Okay, I think in my formative years, I was in a household with cockroaches in them somewhat regularly. Now, it wasn't because, you know, the household was a particularly bad one. That's not the case. It was more like just, it was the norm for there to have been roaches around in that area. And it wasn't like an infestation. Like, it wasn't like a lot of them, but it was like, you know.
Hello, people. How are you?
You would go into the kitchen. Hello, Sam Silamari. Hello, hello. You would go into the kitchen and it would be like, it would be 3, like...
Hi, Sam.
It would... Oh, we threw the chair out too? Okay. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. You had to, like, every night I walked into the kitchen and turned the lights on, I would see like 3 roaches, maybe. But they were like small roaches. They were not like the big ones with the wings in them. They were just like land roaches. And because of that, like, I was not afraid of them. I would kill them. I would go out and I would deal with them, you know, whenever necessary. Because I learned very early on, or at least the mindset was instilled in me, that if you are going to...
Here. What did I miss?
Deal with a problem. Hello, King. You didn't miss too much. Just my lamenting certain things, like not doing a house flipper stream right after my eviction arc. That would have been perfect, but I forgot to. Anyways, when I was... Yeah. So in my formative years, when I was just a young lad, just a young librarian, I was very used to getting rid of problems at the source. Right? I was very used to not running away from my problems, because case in point was the roaches I would have to deal with. Because if you deal with roaches, or rather if you don't deal with the roaches, if you just ignore them and you go, eee, it's gross, and they're like in your house, then they will just like multiply and things will be worse. So you need to kill them so that you suppress their like ability to repopulate and spread. And also, if you do it well enough, you will get rid of the problem at its source. So very early on, I learned to fight rather than to flight. Now, that is only for the roaches that we had at home, that were like the small ones. The big motherfuckers, the ones that can fly, nah, we're not dealing with that. We are not dealing with anything that flies. Like, that is gross. We don't want to deal with any of those, and there's absolutely no reason to. There's absolutely no reason to deal with anything that flies, especially when it's outdoors. And whenever I saw a flying roach, I would freak the fuck out, understandably, and I would like run away. So if you ask me, like, am I afraid of roaches? I can only respond to you and say that, like, only like rationally, you know what I mean? Like, I had a rational degree of fear. So it's not like, oh, you know, Charis Euphranor is cowardly. That's not the case at all, okay? I'll kill a motherfucker, I mean, like a roach, if not like a person. I'll kill like a roach if I need to. But like, I will not... Sorry, I've been listening too much to the recent J. Cole album. I will kill a roach if I need to, but I won't... But if I don't need to, I'm running away. Because if there's no reason to kill it, then, you know, you should run away. This makes sense. Florida has palmetto bugs and those MFs fly, it's horrifying. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. No, fuck that. I'm not dealing with anything that flies at me. That is gross. Bigger ones are easier to catch. That may be true, but I don't want something that's easy to catch. I want something that does not bother me and poses no like existential threat. And a bigger one poses an existential threat. Therefore, I do not want to deal with it. No, thank you. It was standard to have roaches when you lived in the city. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sounds kind of specious to you. What if the roaches lived there first before you? If you're not a human, you're not a real... I need to... Okay, I gotta calm down. I've gotta calm down. It's just the beginning of the stream. It's just the beginning of the stream. I've had this thought, like... Or I've been thinking about this more and more often. Where I don't know if I really am, like, a species. Like, I talked about it a little bit. During like my last like stream with Phi, who's like a biologist on his channel, where we talked about like, you know, life basically, but not like, you know, life in the more vaguely philosophical sense, but like the existence of life and life forms. And we sort of glossed over it, but I really think humans are special and deserve better treatment than like any other species that exists. Like I just think we are cool in a special way that no other animal like can hold a candle to. Oh, that was trash. Okay, I did not know that. And I haven't really like, you know, had to wrestle with that thought too much because I don't own any pets. But in the like, but if I
Charis
did,
doesn't believe in animal rights. Human exceptionalist arc confirmed.
I don't know if that's like an arc. Because I feel like that's just maybe me, and it might be misinformed. Like it could be very misinformed. One of the most recent like things I've observed that has like caused me to reevaluate my belief in this. I don't really believe in that strongly is the thing either. I just sort of have a vague intuition that that's the case. But because if it's not the case, I would find it very difficult to explain certain things I would do maybe in hypothetical situations, right? But I watched like a video recently of like an elephant that played a prank on like a human. Now I don't know if it was staged and whether or not they were trained to do this, and that could very well be the case. You know, it's like because it was filmed so perfectly, it very well could have been staged, right? Don't believe everything you see on the internet. In fact, don't believe anything you see on the internet, right? But but the elephant took its trunk out and then like sucked on a cap. And like so someone was taking a picture with the elephant, right? And the elephant like took its trunk and then like just sucked up the cap of the person wearing it, and then like put it under its mouth, so it looks like it was eating it. And the person was always like, "Please give me my hat back," you know, like it was you know a bit of flustering. It was a bit silly and it was a bit fun. The elephant takes the cap back out of its mouth, and then places it back on top of the guy's head. I found that weird. And it was funny. It was like, oh, it pretended like it ate the cap. That's funny. And then it made me go, oh shit. How much like how much? I don't know if how much is the right word here, but like, you know, is it sentient? Is it conscious? What's the difference? Is it conscious but not sentient? And how do we draw that distinction? And how do we measure these things? And and then it sent me on a bit of a spiral. 90% scripted? Probably. But was it scripted to merely copy that behavior and not, like, have it registered? Or was it, you know, was it something that it genuinely was trained to do in the same way like humans are trained to do things? Are elephants smart? I don't know, right? Because they are smart, right? At least they have like a good memory, I believe is the case. And then I started thinking about dogs, because I'm like, you know, one of my friends has like a dog, And whenever I visit, I ring the doorbell, I go ding dong, and then the dog, obviously does the dog thing where it barks and goes "Ruh, ruh, 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 ruh," right, and then it comes up to the door and sees me, and then stops barking and gets really excited because they're like, "Oh my God, it's Charis Euphranor, my favorite philosopher VTuber, the first and last librarian of Alexandria," right? It's probably saying, but in like dog speak. So like so I don't. Like, so it recognizes me to some degree as like a sentient being that generally means no harm and gives it scratches and like, rubs its belly if it wants things, if it wants that. And like, I don't know. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to feel about this because it's clear to me that like it knows it's me, but does it know it's me in the way that like maybe my grandkid knows it's me and it recognizes me as a person? Or is it, or does it know it's me and that like an animal or a plant behaves according to different stimulus and I'm just like a different stimulus? To what extent am I a different stimulus? I don't know. And like, could I replicate that? Like, could someone who dressed like me or maybe smelled like me, because they recognize people through scent, right? Pretend to be me, and then would that fool the dog? And then I was asking myself, but if it does, then like, does that remove any of its potential sentience and quality of sentience? Because humans can be fooled in the same way. Like, people get scammed all the time when they are online dating, when they think that they're dating this likely younger person who they're sending money to, who also happens to live abroad overseas, and would like to one day meet with them physically, but currently is financially locked, and then tricks an old person into their retirement savings being sent all the way over, like for true love. You don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that at all. I have no idea. Monkeys are scary too. Isn't there that thing where there's like a monkey civil war now? Have you seen that? Isn't that literally a movie? That can't be real, right? Because that seems like something somebody made up, right? I don't know. Okay, okay. This is the toilet. Okay. I need to put like a kitchen. There's not enough space for this. Whatever.
You mean Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, isn't that the thing? Isn't that like monkey civil war or like chimpanzee civil war? I would just see it anytime I came in and go, "Not dead yet, cool," and would like do my makeup in the bathroom and then leave, close the door, rinse, repeat. Are you talking about like an animal? I kind of had like an animal companion like that, and like there was a spider outside of one of my windows, and I just sort of let it be. And then eventually my landlord like chewed me out because he was like, "You can't have Karis, you can't have a spider there and like a spider web. That's a sign of the house being like mistreated." And I was like, "Yeah, but like I'm cleaning the house. It's just I'm letting the spider do its thing." And then I eventually had to remove the web because my landlord made me do it basically. I don't have a hard time believing elephants have a sense of humor. I do, because the ramifications of it are too immense for me. I think animals should have some level of rights, but humans by default have higher rights. But I think that humans that abuse animals intentionally forfeit the rights they had. Okay, I don't know about forfeiting the rights that they had, but I agree that I think it's probably a safe bet to say that animals deserve some kind of rights. Maybe not as much as humans, but like they do. Rather than to just commit to the full thing and go like, actually, they don't deserve anything. Because then you can't, it's much harder to justify action against people who abuse animals, for example. Automod doesn't let me talk about cockroach death, apparently. Unfortunate. And elephants can simulate human behavior because I remember reading about the elephant that went on a rampage looking for poachers. That is interesting and frightening. It was the time that my aura was so strong that the cockroach went catatonic and starved instead of moving for the next few days. I see. Your aura, yes. I used to think, like, when people first started using the word aura, I used to think it was, like, to describe someone's stench. Because, like, what other reason would you have to use the word aura if not to say that somebody stinks? I don't know. Let's do white and gray. Those are my favorite colors, white and gray. That's perfect. Aren't they warring against humans? No, they're warring against, like, other chimpanzees, no? Because of, like, turf. I think. I have no idea, actually. It was a roach that was massive, but didn't want to kill it, so I just stay really still in the bathroom and let it stay there until its demise. I would just spray some shit. If it's in my house, it's dying. Like, its life is forfeit if it exists anywhere in the vicinity where this is, like, my house. It's the same reason why people choose to be vegan, right? Well, there could be many reasons to be vegan. I don't think you need to necessarily be, like, a huge, like, animal rights activist to be a vegan. It certainly overlaps a lot, and people tend to be that. But you don't have to be. You don't have to be an animal rights activist. You can just, you know, do it for health reasons, or because maybe you hate animals and you think they're gross. You know that, right? Like, that could exist, right? That could be a thing. I think the monkey civil war was macaques hunting kittens in India or Indonesia, but that was in 2022. No, it was like a recent thing. It's an ongoing thing, like it's in some sort of park or something. Yeah. I once used the term charisma, and the person I was talking to understood, but apparently thought the term originated as a video game stat. Can I be honest and say that I'll say it, fuck it. That was me for, like, the word psychic. Like, before I heard the word psychic used as, like, before the term psychic as you know, to describe people who are psychics or claimed to have psychic powers, or like psychical, or something that is psychical, I thought it was Mewtwo. Like, I just thought, like, yes, you're a psychic just like Mewtwo is. That's what I thought the word was for a long time. Induction stovetop. Oh, that is really small. Okay. I thought we'd need a little bit more space than that, but I guess not. Simple table. I guess we'll keep that here. Can we squeeze through this? I guess we can. Barely. Maybe I should have put this...
_ chair tomato : _ chair tomato bro never watched Mob Psycho and it shows.
It literally is... That is literally not true. I sing Mob Psycho's praises like every other day as the greatest anime ever made, and it's not even close. Okay, like, I've literally said that on more than one occasion. Okay, well, it's kind of close, but, like, you know, it is the greatest of all time. It's the GOAT, okay? But, like, I did not watch it at the time. I had known Pokemon before I knew Mob Psycho, okay? I always interpret aura as introverts having difficulty making eye contact. You didn't have to do it to them like that, okay? Also, you would be doing it to me because one of my grandkids the other day said that I have, like, immaculate aura. Axe has also said that, I think. Axion has also said that I have aura, okay? You can't be undermining the word like that, because then you're taking away from the compliments I have. And I'm not saying there aren't a lot of those, it's just I would like to keep them, okay? Chair. Perfect, we got 2 chairs, whatever. Good enough. Excellent. Now I gotta buy stuff for the bathroom. Okay. This conversation topic is giving me psychic damage. Psychic.
I always interpreted
2d10
aura as the
psychic
same thing
damage.
as a follower approval system in RPGs.
Follower approval. Ooh.
I
Aura
always
as follower
interpreted aura
approval.
as the same thing as a follower approval system in RPGs.
Congrats on the double, Leo. Congrats. Is that... Follower approval. I feel like, no, you don't have to be a follower of someone to want to recognize their aura. You know what I mean? You can be someone who, let's put this here. You could be someone who doesn't like the other person, but still recognizes they have aura. I think you could do that. For example, I would say, I think I'm trying to think of a bad person that has aura, and I can't think of one. So let me think. Give me a second. I think Stalin probably had like Stalin had aura, okay? Stalin had aura. This is a horrible person, and I'm not a follower of this person, but I can recognize that this person has aura. You know what I mean? Multiple shower Omni. This seems to be the cheapest one. Let's buy this. Okay. When FMAB exists. Okay. FMAB and Mob Psycho 100 are my two favorites. And depending on who's asking, I tell them one of them is the greatest of all time over the other. And that depends on how snobbish the other person is. If the other person knows what my anime list is, then I don't tell them that Fullmetal Alchemist is my favorite, because they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Your favorite. Don't tell me your favorite TV show is Breaking Bad, right? Like, I don't want it. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to incite that on me. So if somebody is like is a snob or like an elitist about anime, or like, you know, has, you know, is a hipster about it, then I'm gonna say it's actually Mob Psycho, because Mob Psycho does not make like the top 10 for most people's, like, for like the popularity polls and stuff, but has enough of a following that it's like people who like it really like it. It's my hipster pick, in other words. Because I know everyone's seen Fullmetal Alchemist, and it's popular and easy to hate on what's commonly, you know, known. So if I say Fullmetal Alchemist is my favorite, it's so easy to be like, yeah, sure, you have no taste in anything and no original thought. Like, it's really easy to say that. Such a nerd. Did you never get the spoons held by Abracadabra was a reference to a magic trick psychics do on TV? No, because I never watched magic on TV, because that wasn't the shit I watched. When I was playing Pokemon, I was watching cartoons, okay? And they, you know, I wasn't watching like magic on TV, because I just wasn't interested. I was like, you know, this is, all right, whatever. It was only, okay, or maybe I did, but it was after Pokemon, okay? I watched Pokemon before I watched Magic on TV.
Hi guys.
I knew you were gonna say Stalin SMH. Is it because he's like the worst person I know who's not Hitler? Because if I said Hitler, it would have sounded like a weak sauce example. That couldn't be the case, no. That's definitely a take. A safer choice would have been Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson has no aura, though. He has no aura. He has that one video where he goes like... Hold on. I gotta find this. Vegan sausage rolls. Hold on, I gotta find vegan sausage rolls. Oh, this one works too. He has this.
Does Brexit make my passport expire? No. But it does mean that you are entitled to a beautiful new blue passport.
Blue passport. And like he has this.
You at Eastern Daily Press in Norwich earlier this week.
Yes.
You were asked if you'd ever had a Greggs, to which the Prime Minister replied, "How many times have I ever not had a Greggs? Unless I specifically tell you otherwise, I am made of Greggs." Last time you bought a sausage roll at Greggs, Prime Minister, how much did it cost?
I don't know. I give up.
You have no idea. But you've
This man does not know how much a sausage roll costs.
just told me that you're made of Greggs, so you must eat these sausage rolls all the
I
time.
don't know. £1.90. I have no idea.
It's a pound.
Pound.
Prime Minister, thank you for appearing here.
I
on
have eaten.
LBC.
I've also eaten vegan sausage rolls. Have you eaten a vegan?
I've not.
He said vegan sausage rolls. Okay, like that's Boris Johnson. Okay, this man has no aura. This man has no aura. I don't know what you're talking about. This man has no aura. You at Greg's, I'd rather break my legs. True. It rhymes, so it must be true. It is not £1.90. That's insane. It's still £1. I'm pretty sure. I literally bought a Greg's like 2 days ago. There's no way it's. I bought a sausage roll 2 days ago, and it was. I also bought a hot chocolate with it, so it was like £1.50 or like £2 for like the meal deal. I don't remember exactly, but it was the meal deal I bought. Okay. Isn't Mob Psycho just a power fantasy with series pretty light shows? It's not really a hipster choice for anime. It is because evidently you haven't watched it. Because if you watched it, you wouldn't say that. If you watched it, you would not say that. At least you wouldn't say it unironically. If you said that having watched it, you're rage baiting. That's why it's a hipster. That's why it's a hipster show. Is because you don't even know it. If you were earnestly trying to insult it, you don't even know it. That's why it's hipsters, because you don't even know. Are we done here? Okay, we've done the toilet. Okay, we've done this. Done that. Okay, let's get back out. Oh, the night sky. Hold on, let me get out. Okay. The night sky. Ah, that's the bunker. Alright, hope that's useful for everyone. That's my tutorial on how to build a bunker. Last I checked, it's £1.10-ish. I bought the meal deal, so I don't know. I bought it with like a hot chocolate. That shit was like £2 something. The Q at Greg's is a song by Jim E. Brown. We listen to it on Side Area a lot. Does I play it a lot? I don't know. I have not. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not a real Side Area fan. In the sense that like I've only tuned into a couple of her streams, because I haven't had the time to like. To do more than that, but she's cool. But I like her. She's cool. I like what she's doing. I watch her YouTube clips, and I watch her like How do I get up this damn edge? I watch YouTube clips and I watch some of her YouTube videos because it's a lot easier for me than to like go on Twitch and when she's live. Even though I have notifications on for when she is live. I think we're done here. Complete. Is it the stream over? I mean, it's been 40 minutes. Are you caught up on all the VTuber drama involving Saikuno? I know that he's. We can talk about it now because this is a whatever stream. This is a whatever stream. This is a. What is this stream? This is ranked. Hold on. Give me a second. This is ranked competitive chat. So it's not casual chat because casual chat implies a ranked competitive chat, and this is what this is the ranked competitive chat. Okay, the goal of today's ranked competitive chat is we need to rank up to like plat 1. Okay, we're plat 2 right now in like the chat meta, the chat elo. We need to rank up. If we rank up, we get more approval points, and eventually like we'll match up with stronger VTubers like Bow the Whale. I'm trying to think of a VTuber that's not like HoloLive, because I keep every time I mention a VTuber, I just default to HoloLive, and that makes it seem like I'm a tourist, which is true to some extent, but I need to prove myself. Anyways, I need to prove myself before I start waging war on like other VTubers, okay? Which I will do eventually, but not now. I'll get to it. But no, okay. I'm caught up on the drama in the sense that like I know there's a Google Docie and I know that there is allegations that he's like a serial dater / cheater who has been in multiple relationships with different women, including one who's like, I don't know, like a 14 or 15 year age gap or something, who's an adult, thankfully, because, you know, nowadays you can never be too sure, but no, it was an adult, and like he's just kind of generally like a two-faced piece of shit, and you know that's horrible, and you know, I'm glad people know now, but also like, did you not know this? Have you tuned into like a single thing he said? Listen to the guy speak. You know this. Listen to the way this guy like does the fucking anime boy voice. I'm an anime boy. Like listen to the way he does that. Listen to that. You cannot tell me this is a real person. You cannot tell me this is a real person with like who is portraying himself as a genuine human being in society. You can't do that. You can't do it. It's not true. It's literally not true. Like, yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit. Like, and he's like an e-boy who's taking advantage of people like who are like obsessed with it, whatever. Dude, who cares? Who cares? Of course they are. Every VTuber you know, every content creator you know is a huge piece of shit. Okay, everyone is. Everyone is. You can count on one hand the people that are not. Why is that? Power corrupts, maybe, because there's an ego behind it. You know, when you gain like a larger following, you feel like you're invincible and you can do whatever you want, and that enables people to engage in bad behavior, maybe, or maybe they got into VTubing or YouTubing and or content creation in general in the first place because they craved that sense of power, that feeling of power that you get over other people, or like, you know, the ability to influence, right? The ability to speak your voice into the world and have it exist and matter, and the first moment where you get this power, you use it to take advantage of people. Like, you know, there's many reasons, many causal explanations you can have for this, but also this is very like, I don't know why everyone's surprised. You motherfuckers have the audacity to act surprised. The guy is an e-boy on the internet, okay? Who sounded very different like before he got into his e-boy phase. Like he spoke like himself, probably, like well before he exploded, and then once he did, or once he gained a certain, you know, particular audience, he started leaning another way. That's who he is. Okay, that's who he is. That's literally, you know what that's like? That's like me. That's like, I used to never talk about feminism. I never talked about feminism at all. But because now my audience is 100% middle-aged women, according to my Google statistics, I have to always talk about feminism. Okay, this is real. This is real life. Okay. I have no idea who or what you're talking about. Saikuno. He's like a YouTuber who was exposed, but he didn't date any, but he wasn't dating any children. So honestly, that's a W. Honestly, the fact that he wasn't dating any children, that's a massive W already. That we know of, at least. Next, there will be a Google Doc that Corpse Husband and Swagger Souls are just Meet Kenyon doing a voice when YouTube AdSense is down. That's fucking... Maybe. You can write that Google Doc. Because it doesn't have to be true at all. You can just like write anything and call it a Google Doc. Today I learned I'm a middle-aged woman. Yes. So this might be news to some of you, because you might not have realized. You might have been like, I'm not middle-aged, or I'm not a woman. Well, according to YouTube analytics from Google, you are 100% middle-aged women. So sorry, that's just how it is. And you're also 30% American. (1.6% Canadian, 0.7%. No, sorry, 1.6% Kenyan, 0.7% Canadian, and 0.5% Filipino. Also, did you know that? That's also your like bloodline. His whole shy boy persona is fake. Shocked Pikachu. Exactly. Like, it's not. This isn't how people are. This is a manufactured thing meant to like tickle your sensations for what you expect like a man of the internet who is not immediately a raging misogynist to behave like, which is just not like how it is. It is just not how it is. Another bunker we can do. I didn't know I was Kenyan or European. Yeah, now you know. Now you know. No, now you know you are 31% United States. Sorry. You're 31% American. You are 1.6% Kenyan. You are 0.7% Canadian. And you are 0.5% Filipino. The Charis viewer statistics, but it's your 23andMe results. Thank you for helping me save money from that test. Becoming a woman, I don't mind, but American. Real. Real and true. Real and true. God. Topic bunker. Hello. We bought a house with a hidden post-war bunker. The previous owner didn't appreciate what he had made and made it a storage room. We care about safety, and the weather in this part of the country gives us some concern. We have renovated the house, but as for the bunker, we want to have it done by a professional. Can we count on you equipping it appropriately? If a tornado or something even worse would hit, we want to have a safe place where we could stay for several weeks until it is safe again. Best regards, Steve Mariner. That doesn't add up to 100%. Yeah, because like the rest of... Because Google hasn't added it up to 100%. I don't know what else. Google hasn't given me the other stats. Does that mean I have to pay American taxes too? 30% of it. Why would they call Charis if they want a professional? I mean, it answers its... The question answers itself. What do you... I don't know what you're talking about. It's because they wanted a professional. They had to get me, because it's like, you know, who else do you get in these trying times? Other than, like, the first and last philosopher VTuber, the last liberator of Alexandria, Charis Euphranor. I thought that was, like... I thought these were, like, stains. No, that's just the way their bed looks. Okay. Oh, that's the bunker. Oh! Oh. Okay. Alright, let's get rid of that. Should have been called Bunker Flipper instead of House Flipper. Well, this is like the bunker arc of the House Flipper arc. Of the House Flipper, like, thing. Because God knows this will be relevant. Hopefully not. But somewhat unlikely, or at least not unlikely enough for me to discount it. Do we, like, paint the walls or something? Or do we just leave it as is? Whatever. It's like it's a bunker, sure, but it could look a little nicer, right? Let's throw this away. Now it's clean. But no, I've not, like, I don't actually know anything about the Saikuno drama beyond, like...
Okay, but FR who was falling for Saikuno's act?
I don't, like, not you guys, probably. I don't think anyone who watches me also watches Saikuno. I can't imagine that being the case. And if so, my condolences, because like, my apologies, because I haven't... If you watch me, and you also watch Saikuno, buying the act, and you bought his, like, whole soft boy, like e-boy, like, act, earnestly and genuinely, like, it's one thing to want to hear it, and it's another to completely believe it, right? For example, I watch, like, I'm trying to think of a person who plays like a character. I can't think of a streamer who, like, kind of really plays the character. Maybe, like, I don't know, Oral Crony. Like, I watch Oral Crony to an extent, like, and I enjoy Oral Crony. I don't think she behaves the way she behaves on stream in real life, because I think that would be a little weird. I feel like she's probably, like, slightly less... Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. Oral Crony does not behave that way in real life, probably. But I also believe that she does not behave that way. And I'm not, like, offended that she does not. I feel like that's... You can expect a person to behave a certain way on stream, maybe, but not believe that they're like this in real life, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what fucking point I'm trying to make. I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. This is a non-point. Disregard the past, like, 2 minutes. What was I saying 2 minutes ago? I fell for chair in Philosophy's Act. You shouldn't, because after every session, I debrief you and go like, none of this is real. This is all performance. You don't know me. And in real life, I could be a massive piece of shit. I could enjoy torturing I could enjoy torturing children and puppies, you know, like that could be me in real life. You don't know that, and you shouldn't claim to know that, okay? You should not. If you do, you're gullible. If you do, I have a bridge to sell you, okay? If you do, I have merch to sell you, okay? I only remember Sykkuno from when Among Us was popular, and I liked his voice, but immediately the vibes were off, so I was like, no. Okay, this is gonna get into something else that I wanted to bring up today, but I wasn't sure when to do it. No, I'll bring it up in a little bit. Dan Herschel or J-Reg, I don't know them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm reading the comments because I'm really slow at reading comments. Non-content creators, I get it, but come on, as a VTuber, you should know better. VTubers don't know shit. You should stop listening to it. VTubers don't know shit, and you should stop listening to them. Generally, YouTubers don't know shit either, and you should stop listening to them too. Generally. You should just stop listening to content creators, or at least if you do listen to them, understand that they don't know shit. Most of them. 98% of people who make content don't know what they're talking about. I would pay some currency for a chibi Charis. I know. It's not in the works yet, but like if anyone wants to make it, you can just do that. I don't care. As long as you'd like tell me, don't do it like behind my back, right? But if you want to like, if you want to make a Charis chibi and you want to sell it, you can tell me and I'll literally promote it for you. I don't even care. I'll promote it for you, okay? But I want to like know. I want to know that it exists. Because I don't want it to be printed alongside like hateful rhetoric. But as long as that's not the case, I don't mind at all if you do that. That's my comment on merch. VTubers are statistically dumber than the layperson as well. Okay, I don't think they're dumber. I don't think a VTuber... you know what? On the contrary, I actually think a VTuber is statistically probably slightly smarter than the average person. Because, well, one, they need some sort of technological literacy. And then they need to be able to handle and understand, like, a model and how that works. Like, at least the basics of it. And how, how to work your lighting and how to connect that, your phone to the software and how to get all that going and then get a channel. And if you want to be successful, you need to actually market yourself. And I feel like there's some level of intelligence that's necessary in doing so. VTubers are probably like slightly smarter than the average person. In terms, if you want to use like, and it's not your fault. I'm not using this to criticize you, but if you want to use somewhat vague and nebulous terms like smart or dumb, then the average VTuber is probably smarter. Didn't say the average successful VTuber, I said the average VTuber. Yeah, the average VTuber has to figure out how to like model. How your model works. And how to screen share something. And to do it in a way that's not quite like a VTuber, not quite like a streamer, which you can do, but streamers will do this thing where they will just show you like their whole screen, right? They won't bother too much with layouts or layout art or other arts. They'll just show you, they'll turn on their camera and then they'll talk and they'll have like their whole ass PC screen or something to that effect. A lot of them at least, right? But VTubers generally tend to trend towards layouts. Now, the choice to use a layout may be uninspired, maybe a little creatively like not very exciting. But it doesn't have to be. Not everything needs to be creatively exciting. My design is not creatively exciting. Charis Euphranor's design is not very creatively interesting. It's sort of... I'm like an anime guy. I look like an anime guy. I look like an anime person who looks a little bit like me.
I have best friend agrees to call you a good boy. M4 MASMR recommended under the stream.
Click on it because you're gonna reinforce that YouTube wants me to appeal to people who would watch that. Please don't do that. Please don't. They're hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I know, and they're all like a little bit more literate than the average person. Because we're talking about the average person. Now the average person is really just down there, right? We're talking magnitudes of competency below what you might be expecting from perhaps a philosophy member, but still. I just came back from dinner and feel like I have no context for why chat was talking about being Kenyan. It's like it's your new 23andMe result. It's because my YouTube analytics say that you are 100% a middle-aged woman, and you are
But now that I'm
30%
thinking of like
American.
the average person asterisk. Yeah, no, you're right.
Why does it read asterisk that way? It's not the best to talk about the average person like that. Absolutely not. Yeah, you're completely right, Yoav. Because because when you say the average person, what are you actually saying, right? Like there's no helpful like gauge for what average actually means. Because if you say average, what you mean is probably several factors. Average income, maybe average socioeconomic circumstances, educational standing, blah 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 blah. And that's all very unhelpful because that paints first of all, it paints a very incomplete picture. And second of all, it really does enforce the whole putting people into like statistics, putting people into like numbers and categories and like so on and so forth, when like that's just not very helpful. Because one way, the way I like to conceive of the fault of averages is the funny example, right? Of if you put your head in a microwave and you put your feet in like a freezer, your average temperature, okay, depending on the microwave settings, of course, but your average temperature would be like the same. But then you're dead. So, you know, that's why it's unhelpful to talk about averages. That's what makes it unhelpful. I realize I have to paint, so I'm going to do that. Painting. I love painting. So you're right, it's like absolutely not helpful to talk in that sense. Why does the pattern change when I... That is weird, okay. I mean, I'm not expecting much from a streamer, but at least no better than streaming your whole ass screen. Some streamers just do that because it's like, well, what, they don't think there's anything to hide. Or maybe there is not anything to hide, but whatever. And they'll turn it off maybe. When they need to make a purchase with their credit card details, and then other than that, they'll just keep it on like that. Doesn't Charlie Moist Critical do that? I don't know. Yes, exactly. Like, if you take the average of different factors, you're going to get a person that doesn't even exist. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, talk of averages is not very helpful. I do it because it's... Oh, I don't seriously do it. I do it just to fill time in like a VTuber just chatting stream when I just say shit. But there's no like, yeah, like there's certainly, and you know what, like that's why I raised the example afterwards to show that like it, you know, makes no damn sense to really talk about things that way. On average, people with a certain IQ do worse at many things, but it wouldn't be unusual for people to excel at some of these things even with a lower IQ. They may even be more talented than others with a higher IQ at some of these specific things. Yeah, intelligence quotient is like not something I'll ever like unironically talk about and stand for or use as a serious like point, like a gotcha moment or whatever. It's not real. This shit is not real, man. This is just not real. If anyone tells you their IQ is whatever, or like they're trying to justify a point by saying their IQ is whatever, then you know that this is a person you don't have to take seriously. And then you can immediately disregard the thing they're about to say. Like it's an easy fix, actually. Oh, this looks way nicer now that we've painted it. Do we have to paint the other room as well? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, I like painting. My eyes started stinging. This is karma for using superlatives like dumber and smarter and not taking into context the multiple factors making up an individual's personhood and livelihood. Yapping just for the sake of it, aggressively, competitively. That's right, I'm doing it competitively and aggressively. We need to beat Iron Mouse. we need to beat Iron Mouse. That's like we need to destroy Iron Mouse. That's what we need to do. We need to completely decimate everyone's viewer. You know what? Like I say this ironically, right? But it's fucking crazy how people actually like have that mentality for their like streamers or entertainers or whatever. Like I think of people who obsess over like HoloLive statistics and numbers. You know, due to the whole like, you know, the recent HoloStars thing, it's gotten me thinking about, you know, numbers and all that and such. And like, you know, those people that are all about numbers, especially, you know, when they get into executive positions, and it just, you know, that's what it seems like. Yeah, it's casual zatsudan, but it's not actually casual zatsudan. It's ranked competitive zatsudan. Because if you don't get like a certain number of viewers or concurrence or like a certain amount of like chat farm engagement, then you are doing worse in the algometrics, and that means you make less money and are therefore less profitable, and eventually we're gonna have to nuke support for your whole branch. That's what it's come down to. That's kind of like the essence of like the thumbnail of today's stream, right? The essence of today's thumbnail is not just like a play on the words like casual chat, oh, meaning that can imply ranked competitive chat. Like, it's not just a play on those words, haha, funny. It's also like examining maybe to a more laser focused degree on how this like our tendency to compare things like that and to, you know, think about numbers and algorithms and stats has just completely overtaken your ability to like enjoy something. That's fucking weird. Statistics is pretty cool. Channel statistics, not really. No, it is cool. Statistics are cool, and channel statistics are cool too. Like I like seeing what, you know, gets views and what doesn't get views. I think that's actually interesting. That to me is something I think about, but not in like a bad way. I try not to let it consume me like in a bad way. Like for instance, I still always to this day think about what made that like that class of '09 stream get like 2,000 views on the VOD, because I did not do anything to promote it. I did not give a fuck. Oh, it's 3,000 views. Okay, that's for the anime pilot. Fuck, we should react to that. We're doing that tomorrow. That's what we're doing tomorrow. We're reacting to more Class of '09 tomorrow. Everyone here today, you know this. It's probably not gonna be very interesting, or it's probably not gonna get the level of success in terms of like, you know, numbers that the previous ones did. But we're gonna react to the new class. There's like a new Class of '09 thing tomorrow, right? Am I too late? I'm not too late, right? What is it? What is the new Class of '09 thing? Class of '09 anime. The anime pilot, that's a year ago. Lunch table beats. Dude, this shit is 3 minutes. This shit is 3 minutes. Is it good? High key, you might be too late. Fuck! I'm a month late. I am probably too late. Look, I was being evicted, okay? I was being evicted. I didn't have time to because I was evicted. Shit. God damn it. Maybe we should do that tomorrow. If I don't do this now, I'll never do it. Maybe I should do it now. Whenever I think of like numbers, I think of Class of '09. We should do it. You were kind of homeless. It's cool, King. Yeah, but the algorithm doesn't care that I was homeless, okay? The algorithm just goes, you didn't do it though. And I guess, you know what the algorithm's gonna think? The algorithm's gonna think I'm no longer like a Class of '09 VTuber, which is terribly tragic because I am. That's like who I forget being the first and last philosopher VTuber, the last librarian of Alexandria. Forget being like, you know, someone who's interested in change and the human spirit and the things that make us, you know, people. Forget all of that. None of that actually matters. The only thing that matters is Class of '09, because I'm a Class of '09 YouTuber, okay? skip it, it was kind of stale and hold off for another game or something. So if I skip it, like I'm giving up on catching that wave, which, you know, has been like a month. It's been a month since. If you're saying it's not that good, and it is like just a 3-minute video, then maybe I should skip it, because if I make that stream and it's people don't care, then YouTube's gonna think, okay, yeah, this guy's washed. People don't want to watch this guy's Class of 09 content anymore. We gotta like stop people from watching him. I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight in order to finish my 1,400-word essay for Unit 2 tomorrow. Good luck! Good luck, Yoav. Good luck. You can do it. You'll be fine. If you're writing an essay, don't listen to me, because I would make things worse. I for sure would make things worse. Modern kitchen cabinet with sink Andy. Isn't that what, like, people call Germa? Alright, whatever. We're gonna put this, like, here. Here, maybe? Yeah, okay, I like this. Red Dead Redemption instead? Man, I'm not playing Red Dead. I'm not playing Red Dead. I don't have the capacity to play Red Dead. I don't think I have that in my life right now. There are exactly 0.8 shorts of material from that video and reaction. 0.8 shorts of material. So, is that like less than 1 short? Or did you mean 8 shorts? Maybe I should do a short reacting to it. Dude, oh my god. I know exactly what to do. Holy shit. I'm just gonna make, instead of doing a stream, no, maybe we do a stream, and then like, I'll just, all 3 minutes of it, I'll just cut and I'll splice into different shorts, and I'll just upload those shorts. And all it's gonna be is me laughing at it. I'm gonna go, ha 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 ha, that's so funny. And then post it. No, that's a terrible idea. That does not make it out of the writer's room. I'm sorry. You're in here with me in the writer's room right now. And it did not make it out of the writer's room. I'm sorry. Read 1776 by John Wanstead. It's a sci-fi story about 3 space probes examining the evolution of football 1,000 years into the future. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. How long is that? Multimedia online speculative fiction narrative. University of College. Something is terribly wrong. Ah, what the hell? What are the fucking words jumping out in front of me? What the fuck? What is that? Oh shit. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god, what is happening? What the fuck? Okay, I'm not gonna... Okay, hold on. Jesus. Oh my... Okay, something is terribly wrong. Got it. Okay, we'll do that later. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. We'll do that. You know what? I will bookmark this in idea suggestions. Okay. That freaked me out. Is it scary? It's not that long, most of its pictures. Okay, is it scary? You have to tell me now if it's scary. If it's scary, I'm not doing it. Okay, I shouldn't say that. If it's scary, I will need someone else with me to do it. I will still do it, but I need someone else with me to do it if it's scary. Okay, so tell me if it's scary, please. All right, people. As per my routine, it's 1 a.m. here. I have to go to sleep. Have a great day. See you later, Sam. See you later. See you later. I wanted to say something. I did. Here's what I wanted to say. Not on like the Saikudo thing, but on like the e-boy thing. I was I don't know how much this doxes me. It probably doesn't too much. No, it should. It should. Not scared, just kind of depressing. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I was so I was gone for a few days. I was gone for a few days. Not for that long, you know. You're used to me being gone for longer, so it's whatever. But I was talking to a friend of mine who is not like a VTuber, but works with like other VTubers, doing like VTuber events and stuff. You know what a VTuber event is, right? Like, I don't really know, but like my friend knows, and so if I would just ask him. But anyways, he was talking about how he did this event for a VTuber recently, who, well, he was saying tongue in cheek, right? He was saying, oh, this guy debuted like 6 months ago, and he's already got like. Hold on, is this 700 to 70,000? What's 70? So 700, 7,000, 70,000. So he's like an order of 2 magnitudes more successful than I am, and and debuted like 7 months ago. I'm coming up on 2 years. This guy's coming up on 6 months, and this guy has like 2 magnitudes more success than I have. Could be viewbotted too. Maybe it's viewbotted, okay? But every stream has at least like 5k views, and like his chat runs. This guy's chat fucking runs. Where is this? I'm gonna go into like a stream. Like, people are in his chat talking. It's crazy. And he is like, okay, look, I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge. I really don't want to judge. I really don't want to judge. But he is, here's what I'll read his thing. If I read his thing, you'll be able to find him. I know, but like, can we just operate on the good faith that you won't do that and like be like, Charis Euphranor sent me here to hate on you, because it's not true, okay? Like, I'm not hating on this guy. I think he's interesting, okay? I think he's interesting. He's an interesting, like, case study for me, okay, as a person. Like concerts or collabs? No, not quite. Like a physical event for people. So this person's bio, right? I kid you not. I'm gonna read it out verbatim. I'm a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a grim reaper who has existed longer than time itself. I'm just saying that to me, that reads like the Stanley Parable video. Stanley Parable trailer. Which trailer is this? Raphael. It's the Raphael trailer. Like, that description.
I recently received an email from a man named Raphael who writes, I just played your game.
Hold on, I gotta find this bit. Hold on, I have to find this bit.
This is the story of a love samurai named Stanley. In this new version, you play the ghost of a dream of a memory of a cyborg warrior trying to find his dead wife inside a poem.
That's what that description sounds like to me. That's what that description sounds like to me, okay? It's because he used to be a Nichi Sanji VTuber. Fuck! Fuck! I didn't know that. God damn it! Because I'm like, how is this guy? How is this guy? It's vulgar. Oh, okay. Okay, look, I don't want to diss this guy. I don't want to diss Vulgar because when I knew of Vulgar or Fulgur, sorry, I saw like the aesthetic and I saw like the build, and I didn't watch any of the streams, but I was like, I think that's cool. I was like, I think he's kind of cooking here. He's an archivist cyborg, right? And he's got like he's a thing. You know, I thought he was cooking. Now I don't know what he was cooking because I didn't fucking watch this guy, but I was like, I thought he's kind of cooking. You idiot, Charis. Look, how am I supposed to know? I don't care. I don't care about VTubers. It's just like I'm a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a grim reaper who has existed longer than time itself is such a nothing sentence, man. Like he has a very recognizable voice though. I knew it sounded familiar, but I wasn't sure. Okay, shut up. Shut up. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Anyways, I'm here throwing hands with Niji-sanji, okay? If anyone wants to... We're starting drama today, okay? We're throwing hands. We're throwing hands. We're starting drama. We're going to fight everyone in Niji-sanji at the same time. That's what we're doing today. We're fighting every single person in Niji-sanji. After I failed to, like, identify one of them. Anyways, I just think that is a... Like, you should just not be a VTuber. I just think if that's your lore, you should not be a VTuber. He's an industry plant. It's fucked up. Because it's like, why would you... I don't mean this... Okay. I'm done talking about this guy. Warm up into shield position coverings. I'm not winning the battle against Fulgur, okay? This is not happening. This guy is beating my ass. In every sense of the word, he is beating my ass. It's not going to be close. Maybe it can be drama initially, right? And then, if I make enough shorts about this guy, I'll get views by proxy. And then I'll be successful. And then I'll be happy. Because that's what I'm missing in my life right now. It's actually like it's happiness through the affirmation of somebody else on YouTube. I hate saying it. I hate that I said that too. That's gross. What I just said is gross. What I just said is just disgusting. What I just said is absolutely disgusting. Hold on, I need to move this. I gotta put this like here. Okay. I'm sorry everyone left the moment I started talking about other VTubers. I can't help it. Nice knowing Charis. Shames the Niji sisters got... No. Shame the Niji sisters got him. Look, I'm just saying, like... That's a weak sauce description. That's all I'm saying is it's just... I would rather just not see a description if your description is I'm a primary school teacher possessed by the soul of a grim reaper who has existed longer than time itself. First of all, who has existed longer than time itself is 7 redundant words, okay? These 7 words don't need to exist. You do not need to add to the spirituality, or like not spirituality. You do not need to add to like the mystique of like a Grim Reaper, because the Grim Reaper is the cultural icon and we understand what that is, okay? So those 7 words do not need to exist. Second of all, you need to tell me why you being a... Okay, you don't. But like, look, I haven't watched this guy's debut. Maybe he cooked. Explain why you think it's shit, Charis Euphranor, the last librarian of Alexandria. Because I have just a little bit. I have enough chuni in my description, okay? Because I have this shit where it's like, okay, this person sounds like he wants to say something. You know what I mean? Even if what I end up saying is bullshit and completely uninteresting, at least my description sounds like I'm someone who wants to say something. This guy's description does not sound like he wants to say something. This guy's description sounds like, I want you to buy into me as okay, here's what this guy's description sounds like. I am a VTuber. Please watch me. That's what that sounds like. That's what that reads to me. I don't know why I should watch this person. Okay, I really don't. Because nothing about okay, it's not true. Something about it being a school teacher is interesting, but like it's not educational content. Yeah, he's not doing educational content, is he? He's buying the educator aesthetic without even attempting to be an educator. That to me is a little disappointing. First, if he made like videos, you know what he should do as a primary school teacher? He should make videos on like basic algebra. That's what he should do. He should make a video. Did he do that? Did he do that? If he did that, I'm immediately shutting up and I'm never gonna disrespect this guy again. Let's see, a new beginning, ultimate metal versus Yandere X Demon BL visual novel. Murder mystery, date everything. Okay, hold on. Algebra. This guy's never talked about algebra. Math. Okay. English. An incubus and a teacher go through Outlast trials. Okay, whatever. He's a teacher, all right. Okay, what about science? This guy's a teacher with nothing educational in his channel, man. I'm just saying. Cause like, you know, at least try. His description sounds like he's not trying. That's what I'm upset about, okay? That's where this anger is coming from. This anger is coming from like, it's not anger. I'm not angry. I don't know the guy and he doesn't know me. So it's not like anger. But like this disappointment is rooted in the fact that I feel like he could, cause look, if your ex needs you, you could do anything, man. If your ex needs you, you've got like an army of people that will follow you to the ends of the earth. Like you could do anything with that. And you chose to say I'm a teacher without having made a single bit of teacher content? What is this? What is this? You are as much of a teacher as what's the fucking character from Date Everything? Date Everything. Safe character. The character who's into like BDSM, man. What's the character? Sophia. Hold on, the bit is coming. The bit is literally coming. You are as much of a teacher as Sophia was like Santa Claus in that one roleplay scene in Date Everything, right? Like where you're saying it for the bit, and perhaps there's something like psychosexual about it, and then like for 5 minutes I'm supposed to sort of just accept that that's
I don't
you.
remember if he was actually a primary school teacher IRL or if he just wanted to be one. I think it's the latter, but he's disabled. Probably lacking a master's as well, LMAO.
Okay, I don't know this guy's lore. I don't know this guy's actual lore, okay? I don't know this guy's actual lore. I'm not trying to judge this person as like a person, okay? This person can be whatever he wants to be, you know, barring crime and general like assholery, which I don't think he's doing. I think he's just kind of like he's just like a VTuber, right? But like he's as much of a school teacher as he is like Santa Claus in that one roleplay scene with Sophia. And what I mean is like he didn't even try to pretend to be a character.
Picking
And I
on
find
someone
that
who is
deeply
disabled.
That's literally not what I'm doing, man. Okay, I don't know what that's about, okay? But if he is someone who's disabled, right? Disabled people can be fuck asses too. It's okay. You can be someone with, you know, a disability and also be like extremely uncreative. That's well within your potential as a human being. I would not look upon you any less because of that. I think you have you have all the capacity you need to be like just someone boring. And that you are not limited. You should not be limited by your disabilities because of that, okay? Okay? That's the takeaway. That's the takeaway. You too can be boring and uninteresting. That's what I mean, right? If you're a primary school teacher, if that's your thing, if that is your thing, you should at least try to do something that tells me that you're a primary school teacher other than to say I'm a teacher. Because if you just keep saying I'm a teacher without actually doing any teaching, then what is the point of what's the point? What are you doing? What are you doing? Also, possessed by the soul of a Grim Reaper, who's existed longer than time itself, I'm not gonna get into that because I think that's like not necessarily. It's not uninteresting. It's just it's like you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like. It feels like you came up with that in like 10 minutes. Okay, it feels like if I sat down with someone for 10 minutes and we were bullet drafting some things and we were really thinking, okay, like we gotta make a VTuber concept quick. Like, what is it gonna be? This is the end product of like a 10-minute brainstorm. That's what that feels like. And it's like knowing, okay, I didn't know this guy was ex-Niji prior to that, but now knowing that he was ex-Niji prior to that, I'm even more disappointed. Because as someone who has existed in that industry and attained to that level of success and not done anything with that creatively, sucks massive ass. That sucks, man. That sucks. That's I'm disappointed because I feel like there could be more from
alcohol
this.
during work times OFC.
I'm a student teacher with a grade 7-8 class right now. I'm living an alcohol to math lesson converter. My condolences, Comey, and you are brave and one of the most important. You represent one of the most important people in society. Okay, and I get you because I literally like I decimated an entire bottle of whiskey like 2 days ago, so I get it.
He literally had an entire blog when he was in Niji where he wrote lore for his character.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So if he did all of that, if that's his CV, why is this now? Why is this description verbatim? I am a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a Grim Reaper who has existed longer than time itself. Now, I wasn't gonna give him any shit. You know what? I wasn't gonna give him any shit for it. But now that I know he's ex-Niji, I'm going to start giving him some shit, okay? Why? Mainly because I think starting some drama is going to be helpful for this channel. I think that's going to be helpful, okay? I just need to start unnecessary bullshit with somebody else. And so people will attention, because this all is an attention farm, where engagement bait is like the name of the game, and you want just as many eyes on you as possible. Eventually, some of those eyes will be good. So you know what we need to do? We need to start tweeting like obsessively at this guy. Get messy. That's what I've learned from the Sykkuno Google Docu, okay? Is that like a nothing burger like that? Okay, it's not like nothing, but like but if something like that warrants like this level of attention, then you know what? We've got some enemies to make. Sorry in advance to like Velocity, okay? I'm gonna tank our shared reputation like in just one fell swoop. I'm gonna do that. You have no idea. I'm gonna do it so quickly. I need to move this somewhere else. I love harassing people. Dude, honestly, this is the quit having fun. I'm literally doing the quit having fun thing. Where like he's like this guy's just minding his own business. You'd need people to retweet you. That's true. We need to like start a fire going. We need to start a fire, but we need people to throw gasoline on it as well. Did he stop doing stuff like with like writing or poetry? I think I remember mainly him from that. I don't know this guy, so you're gonna have to tell me because I don't know anything about this guy. Okay, I literally just found out on stream that this guy's ex-Niji, and that explains a lot. Go for it. We could use a publicity stunt or two. Should I just do that? Here's you know what I should do? I should do like the philosophy. Okay, Tia, you're here for this. This is our public philosophy meeting / proposal. Okay, I'm making this proposal right now, so chat has like some level of input on this as well. You know what we should do? We should start doing like a series of like the philosophy of content creator, like this ex content creator, and then we like we make it like a Google Docu or something. You know? Okay. Hold on, let me pitch this idea to you. So if we want to do this without igniting any, without igniting any flames and burning any bridges, what we should do is we should do like philosophy of content creator, and then just glaze the shit out of like a big content creator, and then spam ping them to get them to watch it live, and then they're gonna be like, wow, this person's glazing me, and they're like a philosopher. That's cool. There you go. That's how we get in. That's how we start getting the big bucks. That's how we do it. Okay. This is the philosophy meeting. This is like the public philosophy meeting. I'm gonna need everyone in chat right now to back me up with this and say that Charis Euphranor, you are a genius. This is literally the greatest idea for content that has ever existed. You should do it. Tia, prepare the Google Docs acts, get the screenshots. This means war. So that's like the positive way to do it, right? The negative way to do it, maybe the war should be like everything wrong with this person's philosophy. The bad way to do it is like everything wrong with this person's philosophy. And then like you point out simple contradictions they make that are probably like honest mistakes, and you just start that war. That's so slick and dirty. I kind of like it. That's like the way. That's the plan. That's the best idea since Pineapple Pizza. Thank you. Wow, Charis is such a good idea. Thank you. No paid chatters here today. No paid chatters. It's great. Yep, there we are. You're thinking too small. Start drama with Neil deGrasse Tyson or Clavicular. Okay, Clavicular is way too above my pay grade and will not like care. Okay, here's the thing is, Clavicular is like a controversial figure. I'm only going to add a small droplet to the otherwise like vast sea of people criticizing this guy. That's not going to be interesting. I think that we need to play on people's egos. That's what I think we need to do. I actually think, the more I think about it, starting war with other VTubers is not really a good idea. Because they don't know us. They don't know me. So if I start war with them, they're like, who gives a shit? This guy is like not a real person, right? But if I start glazing people out of the blue, I don't have to mean any of it genuinely and sincerely. I just have to pretend like I did. And then just make a series of videos like exploring people's philosophies. Sure, we should do some research probably. But if we just do that, then get them to watch it on their stream and then see that it's like us glazing them, and then use maybe academic jargon words with like more than 4 syllables, then those streamers are gonna go, guys, look, I'm smart. These philosophers said so. They said that I'm smart. And then they get that ego boost, that validation that is very different from the ego boost / validation that you get from like just people in chat going like, you're funny. Because it's like, that's just someone in chat. But if they get it from like a certified philosopher, whatever the fuck that means, it literally doesn't mean anything, by the way. It doesn't, none of this means anything. This is all empty and hollow and does not add to anyone's life at all. Except maybe my own. But if we do that, they're gonna love it. And then we're gonna get the publicity from that. Great idea. You should also mod us to protect you just in case. I see what you're doing. I respect your game, but I'm gonna have to politely decline. Drama gets you views. Drama gets you views only if you're an established figure, and I'm not currently an established figure. So I need to get to the point where I'm an established figure first, and then we start drama. It's gonna be that easy. It actually is. Okay, this concludes the philosophy meeting. Everyone loves my idea. Everyone thinks I'm the greatest person ever, and I'm super smart. All right, meeting adjourned. We can go back to playing House Flipper. Start beefing with Markiplier? No, man, I like Markiplier. You know what we should do? Hold on. You know what we should... Hold on. The philosophy of Markiplier. That's not happened yet. Here's what we do. There's a game theory, The Secret Life of Markiplier, and the history of Markiplier, a brief history. Okay?
Wait, he's writing a blog with lore about his current character as well.
I stand corrected. Okay, is it good? You gotta tell me if it's good. And then there's a playlist by someone who titled Markiplier's Philosophy. And it sort of like dictates largely his ideas on certain things, like respect, pain, why make promises I can't keep, believing in yourself, watch this video when you're feeling down, the truth, etc., etc. That's great. We take this playlist, we take meaningful advice by Markiplier, this video. By the way, I've not watched any of these videos, right? We take the game theory video on The Secret Life of Markiplier. We take the history of Markiplier by Foot of a Ferret that was published 7 years ago for the game theory one. We take these 4 things, throw them into an LLM where it reads the transcript of it, have it shit out a summary for your read, for your use case, including like timestamps and like references and links to like the actual parts that it's drawing from. Then we take just some random fucking we push that back into the LLM, and then we have that LLM generate like a match for who the closest philosopher the closest famous philosopher is to Markiplier, and then we write with this the basic script for a video on Markiplier's or the philosophy of Markiplier, right? Then we let it go. That's it. That's content. You know what that is? That's content, and we love content. Don't we love content? We love content, don't we? Don't we, folks? Content is like the greatest thing ever. We should do more content. This is it. This is actually, it's so easy. I can't believe I didn't think about it. We should do that. We should do that right now. We should take the transcripts of those videos, shoot that into an LLM, have the LLM shoot back out an analysis on like what this most closely resembles in terms of like a public thinker philosopher, say that, and then I'm gonna go.
I just came in and now I'm scared.
Hello, PK Lucky. I'm sorry you're scared, but hear me out. Right? Then I'm sorry. Then we take this, and then all I do is I say, "Hi, I have a master's degree in philosophy," and then I just say what the fuck the LLM shout out, and I glaze Markiplier, and everyone who likes Markiplier is going to watch that video and feel validated, because they're going to be like, "Oh my god, that's the content creator I like. Oh, I didn't know he was like kind of like this
Charis
philosopher."
is trying to start beef with random people.
I'm not. I'm trying to glaze them. Actually, it's the opposite. And then
he's a bad person.
Then they're gonna go, "Wow, this person's really insightful and interesting because this guy just validated my beliefs. My basic beliefs have been reinforced by this guy. I should listen to him more." And they're gonna subscribe. And then we just rinse and repeat, and we do this for every single big content creator that people like. Okay. That's part one. That's step one. Okay, that's step one. Step two, we take this following that we get from people who have subscribed because they're like, "Oh my god, this guy is glazing all of my favorite YouTubers," right? Then, here's the kicker. Then we start channeling that love, that like obsessiveness of like, you know, thing good. Then we turn that into hate. Here's how we do it. Right? With that established following, with that reputation of like, you know, people who are like really into Markiplier or really into Jacksepticeye, and then we'll do maybe the last philosophy of video we'll do is on like PewDiePie, and then it'll be a little controversial at the end. It'll be like, well, actually, then he went on the bridge. Then we're gonna farm both the people that like Markiplier and the people that hate him. We're gonna get both of those forces into this because people just refuse to like live their life outside of like YouTube internet, right? Then we use that as a springboard to transition into the hate. That's how we farm people. Because when you do like the glazing, that's you collecting the people, right? That's the net you cast into the sea to get the fish in, right? The fish are swimming in the net now, right? Now that we've got the fish, we have to start farming them. We got to start farming them for maximum engagement and to use that fish to get more fish. Okay. That's how we do it, right? So the next component of this step is we need to start making like the downfall of, or maybe like the problematic philosophy of clavicular or something. And like maybe not clavicular, someone else who's like widely hated, but is kind of just otherwise like just a fucking person, right? So we do this, and then we get that content wheel cycling. That's how we farm people. That's how we do it. That's how it starts with like the positive glazing, because that's how you get the exposure, right? Because eventually what we're going to try to do is like aim for medium-sized streamers who are likely to watch the video on stream, and that'll get the ball going, right? Then you transition into larger creators where people just kind of agree in general, and then phase 3, the negativity, the hate, the farming people. You're not actually like gonna have to put up a valid critique of someone and offer them advice on how to change or be a better person. You don't have to do any of that shit. Fuck that. That's real work. We should just make surface level bland criticisms and direct people's attention that way. You're very welcome. I just gave you if anyone takes this, I don't even want if anyone takes this idea and implements it, I want you not to credit me as someone who like told you to do it, but I want you to credit me as someone who predicted the future that this would work, in the sense that this would work, okay? Don't be like, I'm starting this channel where there's built on insincerity and lies, because Charis Euphranor told me to do it. Don't do that. Don't say that. But you should say that Charis Euphranor predicted that this would work. And it did. when it doesn't, when it inevitably works. And I'm gonna say this. I say this because I don't want to be the one to do it. I feel like I care about my art too much. I care about my art way too much to let that happen. So I can't. I wouldn't do that. Sorry, I tuned out of chat for like a solid 10 minutes there. I was just flying with that. Wait, this idea has bones. Do the glazing with your expertise as a philosopher, but you do it exclusively for VTubers that have graduated. It could be a novel form of a eulogy. Okay, I was putting out like a really bullshit idea. I was putting out a bullshit idea that was meant to be like satirical, and I had no reason to actually think to do it. I'm gonna be frank with you, but the idea you gave just now, Sucker Mary Barrels, that's actually a really good idea. That's still content farming, but it's in like a more tasteful manner actually. Because the rule is only do it for VTubers that have graduated. That's tasteful. That's actually really interesting. I was just gonna do it for like VTubers who exist now, so they'll watch it and then like, you know, view bot it, not view bot it, right? But like view inflate it, right? No, actually, doing it for people who've graduated, and that's something that's tasteful. Now I don't know if I want to do anything that's tasteful. I'm more interested in like in farming people. So you really are the indie version of Magni Desmond. I apologize if I just stole this bit from Magni Desmond. I don't think I did. I don't think Magni's ever said anything like that. We'll see. He's in too deep with this bit. I was. I like Chairman's ability to just invent a complete alternate timeline in his mind. It's not like alternate. It could still happen, right? Like it hasn't, and it's unlikely to, but like it could have. It could have. I wouldn't, but it could have. The possibility of possibilities is exciting, isn't it? That's the essence of Kierkegaard. I just want everyone to know that. He went to the bridge and that single-handedly funded his retirement plan to live in Japan. I don't know about single-handedly, but I guess it inadvertently did. Reaction of the reaction, and the summary of the reaction of the reaction. We need that for like, that's how we get views on our thing. What looks like madness to the crowd is often genius in disguise. Very well said, Pola, because it reinforces my beliefs and behaviors and worldviews. And says that I'm right. And because that thing says I'm right, I'm inclined to believe it 100%. And that is the exact mentality we need to start taking advantage of. I zoned out too, don't worry. That's why he's a starving artist. That's true. That's actually true. It's because I don't do it. It's because I wouldn't actually commit to doing it. I'm too fartsy about my artsy to do it. That 10 minutes is the best part of the stream. Thank you. That's it. The stream's over. We've come up with such a good idea. The stream's over. I need to start telling you guys about. Okay. Have I talked about like the title of the stream yet? Maybe not. People take things too seriously and not seriously enough. It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours since I went live, and I've not talked about my title. Sorry. The title of the stream is people take things too seriously and not seriously enough. And what I mean by this really is people have misplaced passions, because people have passions and that's natural and good. But your passions essentially have been weaponized in such a way by corporations that are farming your engagement and attention in this contemporary social media economy. And by you, I don't mean literally every person on earth. I mean the person who is likely to click on a VTuber link stream and watch whatever slop this is from me, right? You are probably prone to misplaced passions, including me. This is me included. And you should worry about not whether or not you care about something or not care about something, because you always care about something. I think people always care about something. It's just that it's misplaced. I feel like there are certain things you should care about and certain things you should not care about. Okay. If Marx was alive, do you think he would do better in retrospective than... He would do better retrospectives than most drama channels? Mujin and that brunette Fox VTuber. I don't know who those people are. But if Marx was alive, would he do better retrospectives? Yes, Marx was very good at looking behind him. I don't know if he was really good at looking in front of him, but he was very good at looking behind him. That's what I would say. If I had to give my quick, dirty review of Marx, which is not at all useful or helpful to anyone to any degree. But I also did a stream reading the Communist Manifesto, so that's my work done. Communist Manifesto. When was this? This was a year ago. The Manifesto of the Communist Party by Karl Marx. I read that shit like a year ago, and it has like 87 views. And by that I mean nobody gave a fuck. Which is fine. Which is fine, I guess. People don't really want to read that. But you know what? It's there. I did it. I get to tell people that I did that shit on stream. I did. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. I feel like people's passions are a bit misplaced. I feel like people should care about things, obviously. And people do care about things. Though I feel like that care is placed in how should I say this? People care about stupid bullshit a little too much. here's maybe the main thing I wanted to, the main thing that sparked this like idea, I guess, is my philosophical defense of parasocial relationships, right? I did a video like on April Fool's Day. Bear in mind, this was on April Fool's Day, where everyone does stupid shit on April Fool's. Like this is a thing that happens. Someone commented, a master's in philosophy, but uses the term good without defining it beforehand or establishing any philosophical framework whatsoever. I guess we're just praying and hoping that a low-quality sarcastic post will blow up and give us some sweet, sweet views. So we're in copper. We are in copper. Somebody said that. I don't know who said that. I don't care for this, you know, like who said that. I'm not gonna go after this person. I replied to it. I said, I said brackets Walter White with his hands up. You got me. That's what I said in response. Anyways, the first part of the comment, if it was just that, I would have been like, yes, you're getting it. Yeah, and that's part of it. Yes, that's what makes it of an April Fool's video, is I say I have a master's degree in philosophy, and then I just use an ambiguous term like good without defining it or establishing a framework at all whatsoever, when it was framed as a philosophical defense of something, right? Yes, that's the joke. That's what makes it irony. That's the contradiction within. Now, what does that, and I couldn't even get to like, now what does that irony, like, you know, how does that make you feel? Because this person indirectly responded with the way they felt by saying, I guess we're praying and hoping that a low quality sarcastic post will blow up and give us some sweet, sweet views. So this is where the person understands, okay, this person is sarcastic. And then, but then he's like upset. But then he's clearly like upset about this. Because this person, okay, I say he, whenever I think of someone commenting on my videos and it's a negative comment, I tend to assume they're a man, because I'm actually a misandrist. And I think women are only women are capable of positive comments on my VODs and videos. No, this person, right? Says, I guess we're just praying and hoping that this will blow up and give us sweet views. I think is getting at something, because this person understands that it's clearly low quality in a certain sense of the word. It's low quality in the sense that, like, it's not a philosophical defense. It's a shitty minute and a half monologue, but does not bother to dig beyond the surface. Instead, insults it by saying, okay, it's, you know, you're just hoping it will blow up and give you sweet views, insinuating, of course, that that's what I want, right? That's what I care for. And finally ending it with this snappy one-liner, this slam dunk of a Twitter statement. So we're in copper. It's so interesting because it's not just, so this is boring, or so whatever. There's no novelty in that, and I could kind of buy that therefore is in itself a joke that doesn't take itself seriously. But the fact that there's some novelty to this ending statement, this slam dunk, so we are in copper, like copper the material, right? shows me that this person has vitriol in their blood. Like, this person hates me or hates this content. Like, this is like angry. This is an angry person. I posted an April Fool's video. It's crazy that you can watch the video and understand that it's sarcastic, but, or like, you know, it plays on irony to some extent, and then get mad at it when it's April Fool's, first of all. But second of all, get mad at it as if you were disappointed that there's nothing of substance there. Because if you were looking for substance, it actually was there. Because what I was trying to say with that is like, not so much, oh, this is a rational, logical way of thinking of things, but precisely the opposite, right? This is, although not a reason for why parasocial relationships is good, it's me explaining from the perspective of someone who is, you know, obsessed parasocially with certain things and uses that as fuel for their social engagements. That although I understand this is bad, although one understands that this is negative and that it's harmful in the long term, that they nonetheless are trapped in it. Right? That's the thing that's interesting. The thing that's interesting is you don't tell someone who's like a really big, like, VTuber fan who spends all day doing nothing but watching VTuber streams and like listening to VTubers instead of, you know, talking to other people, which I think is generally more helpful, because when you talk to other people, they listen to what you have to say. And I feel like, you know, for social experiences, that's really helpful, right? Like, you want to talk to people who will have something to say back to you. So this person has completely disregarded the actual gold in here and only mistook it for this copper on its surface. And I think that is sad, because I wish this person would give me would give it a second chance and just like listen to it again, go and understand it and recognize it and go, oh, that's what this person's trying to do. I see. And if you don't like it, you can like criticize it, but criticize it in a way that actually is meaningful, valid criticism, instead of just saying, I don't like it because I don't understand what you're doing. It's essentially what this guy's saying. That's disappointing. That's disappointing from someone who was expecting something more from someone who claims to have a master's degree in philosophy. Because if that's what, you know, if you wanted in-depth analysis, it's clear to me that you were not capable of it in the first place, and you just wanted it spoon-fed to you. And that's what sparked the people take things too seriously and not seriously enough, because they took the joke too seriously, but did not take seriously enough that the joke exists in a context that's meant to make you think, and paradoxically has misunderstood it as meaningless gibberish. That's sad. And then the reason why this is an idea that came to fruition for this stream, and then I'm taking this too seriously because this is just some fuck ass comment. Who cares? This is just some fuck ass comment on like a video I made as a joke that I spent like a day making. So I shouldn't care about this. This is not my life. Like, I have more pressing matters in my life. But I just sometimes I think back to this comment, because not because this is a hateful comment. I have had way worse, way more hateful comments, but because this comment shows like a person who was just about to understand it and then tragically completely missed the point. And that makes me question myself as a communicator, because I think to myself like, damn, somebody did not understand what I said. What should I do about that? And it made me a little sad. And then it made me think, I'm taking this too seriously too. I'm judging this guy for taking this thing a little too seriously. And now I'm taking this thing too seriously. What am I doing? I need to stop. Anyways, we're house flipping. We're in copper right now. I can't... Oh, I know what... Okay. I'm sorry. I'm actually like... I'm losing it. I assume anyone I meet and don't know the gender of on the internet is a guy. I do that too, but like I don't like to admit that. Thank you for admitting it first, Zero, so I can admit it second. Even though I'm the streamer, so it looks way worse for me. But like I do that, and it's like a product, I think, of my like, I don't know. It's the product of me being a guy and socialized as a guy on the internet and playing video games where like most people who play those video games are also guys. So I've just come to assume that like a person is by default a guy. Maybe they're the default sex. That's the default gender. And that the women are the second sex, maybe. maybe women are the second sex by Simone de Beauvoir. That's, you know, isn't that crazy? Anyways. Man, this whole situation is a mood. It is a little, like, I hope it is. I hope this strikes some sort of, I hope this resonates with you in some way, because it's like, I can see the problem that someone else is making, but I can also see that I myself am making the same mistake, or maybe like a mistake that's somewhat similar, and I can't help it, because it's like, it's just like, this is just how my brain is right now. People have understood men as the default gender before male-centric video games. Yes, of course. So what I'm saying is that understanding has shaped the way video games have existed. And so when I've played video games and started thinking and speaking on the internet and played video games, and video games have been a large shaping force of that interaction online, to me, I've just assumed that everyone online is a guy until proven otherwise. You are a man until proven otherwise. Like, it's the whole bit just now of like how you're all middle-aged women according to my Google Analytics, and so you just are. I'm sorry that's how you found out, but you are a middle-aged woman. So in this situation, who gets drawn as the crying Wojak? I'm the crying Wojak. He's the crying Wojak. We're all the crying Wojak. We're all crying Wojaks, and some of us have masks on of like confident Wojaks. Some of us who are crying Wojaks have masks on that are just like different versions of a crying Wojak. But we're all wearing masks. We're all crying Wojaks, and we're all wearing masks. Our masks are different, but we're all the same. You may be misattributing it. You don't know how you would have felt had you not played those games. Perhaps you would have been the same in your misogyny. No, I probably would have. What I'm saying is the social forces that influence male as the default sex and gender have extended into video gaming and into my branch of video games specifically. And had I not played video games growing up, had I been into sports or something instead, as alternatively, that the same thing would have happened. But because what happened to me was what happened to me, like, I am inclined to be in what I mean is, yeah, it's all the grounds are covered. All the grounds are covered by patriarchy. In general, as like a male, as a man who grew up, or as a young boy who grew up in male social spaces, right? That's what happened. Humans are female by default unless there's a Y chromosome biologically. Yeah, I believe that's true. I believe we kind of, like, we start female first, right? Isn't that how that works? It's like you begin, or like the fetus begins as like female, and then it gets a specific chromosome that determines if you're like a male or not. Something to that.
Imagine how great Charis Euphranor, the first and last football VTuber, would have be.
The first and last football VTuber. I would not be the first or the last football VTuber. There would be 1,000 before me. There'd be 100,000 before me, and another 100 million to come, I think, for football VTubers. How many football VTubers are there? Let's see. I feel like that's not actually going to be that common. It's going to be... You're a football YouTubers, maybe more so, but football VTuber? Let's see. No. I see VTubers who react to football. A lot of it is like Scott Sterling. Mamie reacts to top soccer shootout ever with Scott Sterling. Football VTuber. I know there's like a racing car VTuber. V-Soccer levels up the way VTubers can stream sports. What? Fillion presents V-Soccer, the global VTuber audience. More than 25 Team Fillion. Oh, okay. So some VTubers played football. V-Soccer, okay. That's sick, actually. That's really cool. I did not know that existed. That's sick. Thank you, Villian. That's an awesome idea. I like that. Okay, so there's been like VTuber football, but there's not been like a football VTuber. So maybe I would be the first football VTuber. And maybe the last, because it's like, why would you, if you want to make football content, why would you be a VTuber? The overlap is very niche. Just be a YouTuber. Just show your face cam at least if you're a guy, if you're a woman and you don't want to deal with the rampant misogyny that exists in online spaces, but also just like in life in general, then maybe you should consider being a VTuber for like for the sake of your identity. But if you're like a guy, you should just, why be a VTuber? Just turn the face cam on and start opening FIFA packs, okay? Put the FIFA packs in the bag. I'm gonna put these nuts here too. How can I be a crying Wojak if I'm a middle-aged woman? You are... Shit, you got me. You got me, man. You got me. By the counterfactual view of causation, those video games have not caused you to be like that. Well, they've... Okay. The counterfactual view of causation... Oh, God, I don't remember that. If I can't understand this in like 15 seconds, I'm going to abandon this, okay? Explains causal claims using counterfactual conditionals, such as if A had not occurred, C would not have occurred. No, yeah. So I'm not saying that. No. You're trying to understand this through a logic. You're trying to apply what I said to a logical lens, which is fine. But I think you've misunderstood what I've said. I don't mean to say that. If I had not played video games as a guy on the internet, that I would not have assumed every guy on the online would be a guy. Like, shit, I'm tripping over my words too. I'm not saying, had I not played Counter-Strike in my youth, I would not have grown up to assume every person on the internet is a guy. No, I'm just saying that was the contributing cause. But the contributing cause could have been any number of factors. I'm not claiming that without that one contributing cause, I would not be like that, so to speak. Anyways. There's a baseball VTuber who happens to be a girl. Why did you say who happens to be a girl? You could have just said baseball VTuber, right? Baseball VTuber. Aka Scarlet. That's pretty sick. Baseball explained by an anime girl. 59,000 views. I should get in on that. I should get in on that. I should start being a baseball VTuber. Streamed 1 month ago. This person has like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 streams. That's sad. Oh no, they have a Twitch. Never mind. That's like YouTube. That's their YouTube Twitch. So that's their YouTube. This person probably has like more streams, right? Last stream 20 hours ago. Yeah, this person exists. The rampant misogyny turned me into a PNG tuber, so yeah, real shit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I've got one person backing me up. Since you're on YouTube doing research, could you look up Rushing the Mound compilation? Fine. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Are they like starting a fight? What's going on? What the hell? Whoa, why are they doing that? Okay, it's people in baseball fighting each other. I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch that.
K gotta go get gas and pharmacy. Toodles y'all, have a good stream.
See you around, Comey. See you around. You implicated that the games caused you to skibidi. You also claimed that if you had not played games, you would still skibidi. Did I do that? I don't think I did. Now you need to find the difference between implicature and implication. I actually don't. You're wrong, actually. You thought you got me there, but you did not. If you want to say, Charis Euphranor, you need to do something, you need to explain why, if I don't do it, I'm a misogynist. And then what that does is it immediately makes me look bad to my 100% middle-aged women viewership. And and forces me into actions. If you don't do that, I actually don't have to do anything you want me to do. Shit, what was I talking about? Anyways, yeah, I guess that was the main thing I wanted to say in regards to like my my thumbnail and no, my title. I took things too seriously. I take things too seriously. People take things too seriously. I take things too seriously. I think people take things too seriously when they zero in on like VTuber drama as well. Like, oh, this is the biggest thing ever. Like, it's not. Sykkuno's a fucking guy. Who cares? Who fucking cares about Sykkuno? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean nobody cares. I don't mean nobody cares. I think people do care about Sykkuno. At least like 2.6 million people who are like his subscribers. All right, that's his like subscriber count or something. At least 2.6 people care about Sykkuno. But are you those 1.6 people, like 2.6 million people? Are you? And if you are, how much do you care? Are you like his best friend? Are you someone that knows this guy? Are you someone that like lives with this guy or like, you know, works with him? Are you a frequent collaborator? If you're just like a YouTube viewer, then like, you know, that's crazy. Wow, the person you're watching is a terrible person. And if genuinely you didn't know this and you found out and it's heartbreaking, I understand that. But you know, now that you know this, next time you should be a bit more skeptical of people who sell themselves as a certain persona online. You should be a little more skeptical about that. So you should care in the sense that like, you know, you should think about how, you know, this influences your media diet in the future. If this is something that hurts you, that if this is news that hurts you, right? You should think about that. You should think about how the people you watch, not like, oh, whether or not they're good people in the sense that do they agree with every single opinion I have, but like, is this thing that you're watching, like if it came out tomorrow that like I was a raging misogynist, then like how disappointed and heartbroken should you be? My argument, for at least what I think, right, is you should be a little upset about that actually, because I've talked specifically about this. What is something I've not talked about? What is something I've not talked about that maybe like that would get me in hot water, right? I don't know. I feel like I've talked about most controversial issues that are not like geopolitically informed, because I don't want to talk about anything geopolitically informed because I don't know shit about the world, and I don't even want to spend 1 second
before, but no, I don't care about him.
You have? You've been lobby mates? It's crazy. Like in Among Us, right? Bum 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 bum. Who said that? I don't know who said that. It wasn't me. If you turned out evil, I would have a stroke. Not gonna lie. You shouldn't, because like, you know, you don't know me. Because you don't know me. You should be a little sad. Because you should be like, damn, this person I watched for years, maybe year, few months. This person I watched for months
This
now
is how I feel
turned out
with
to be
most
like an asshole.
OVA dramas.
Honestly, that's how I feel about it too. Like okay, this is you, Kira. Hello, Kira. So you would understand so I think I know who you're talking about. You are talking about the person who does the voice for Dr. Ratio, right? Yes. I don't know. I feel like you are the only person in this live stream right now who sees where I'm coming from or understands this. But like, it does really suck that Dr. Ratio is voiced by like a guy that has like a big American flag sprawled across his room. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little like, it's a little sad. It's like, it's just, oh man, that's it. I honestly, I genuinely, I kid you not, if had there been like a demand for it, I would have considered doing that. But I thought about dubbing all of Ratio's lines over, like the moment like I kind of heard about that. Just to be like a petty asshole, just to be like a petty bitch. That's what I was. That's what I was, and probably still am. Like, I would have been a petty bitch about it. I probably would have been like, I'm redubbing all of Dr. Ratio's lines. He has a what? Well, okay, basically this guy has certain opinions about certain parts of the phrase look genuinely. Okay, he's got certain opinions about a certain aspect of that word that are not quite the not quite the views you'd want to hear from like the voice actor of a character whose entire existence is like a larger, meaningful educational goal. Do it then, coward. Stream HSR right now. Look, if I do it and it guaranteed like clout and views and content, I would do it in a heartbeat. Okay, here, here's what I would like to ask you to do if it is not too much of your time, or like, you know, if it's not too much to ask of you, if whenever ratio is next relevant in the story, please tell me. Please assume that I don't know and tell me, so then I can I can quickly get into that. I can get into the whole like Dr. Ratio uptick in interest again, and then I'll redub all the I will redub every single voice line that Ratio does. I'll do it for free. I don't care. I don't want anyone to pay me for it. I just want to do it. You know what I mean? And it'll be, you know, largely just because I like the character. And had I debuted a year later than I actually did, my design would have just been entirely like a Dr. Ratio ripoff. It's crazy how much I would have plagiarized them had I existed prior. And I know that I would have. Oh, damn. I haven't moved on from Penacony. I guess this is my sign to go through the story quest. Look, I haven't either, so I guess we're in the same boat. Because I heard, from what I've heard and understood, Amphorius does not deal with Ratio at all. I think maybe he gets like mentioned once or twice, but the entire Greek region doesn't actually feature like the one character prior to it that was inspired heavily by like Greek aesthetics and like Greek philosophy. So it's ass. Dub his voice with the "We Are" Charlie Kirk lyrics and uploaded his shorts. Somebody else will do that. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Somebody else do it. Doesn't Dr. Ratio have like 4 VAs? Maybe 2 of them aren't problematic. I don't know about 2. I was talking about the English ones specifically because, like, you know, generally when you think of HSR VA drama, it's like the English ones because this is because the fact that we're having this conversation in English means like we are prone to the Western-centric view of like, you know, voice actors and like drama and all those things. Oh, that was it. That was the thing we needed. Bed with drawer. And as far as I'm aware of, I think like the only other Hoyoverse voice actor who's gone into hot water that I know of is like Tenari's voice actor. And maybe Paimon's voice actor to some extent, I believe. One for something a lot worse than the other.
Greeting.
Paimon, I think, was just kind of rude. The other one? Oh boy. Oh. Hello, in dictation. Hello. Has it been a while? I hope it hasn't been too long. Tell me about your day, or not. Either is fine. You're a human being with free choice. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. You know what? This is a great transition to like, what I've been doing the past few days. I went away, and met up with a few friends to watch a movie. We watched Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary is a film starring Ryan Gosling, and it's about space. And that is all I'm willing to say about the film if you haven't watched it, because like I really like it. I don't think it's a how shall I say this? I think there are some flaws with the film. I think there are some parts that I didn't quite like. Well, not that I didn't like them, it's that I wasn't sure about several parts of the film. But overall, I found it really enjoyable. I found it to be a fantastic, hopeful piece of sci-fi that instilled in me a greater hope in humanity. Just gotta face that way, okay. Last stream I was in the dispatch stream, if I remember right. Sorry for not being here much. You don't have to apologize for not showing up in a VTuber stream, okay? You don't have to at all. I hope that, okay, you should apologize, not to me, but to yourself, if, that's because you were doing shit like playing a gacha game. But if you were like out there in the world doing things in real life, talking to real people, then that's awesome. That's great. Then I'm happy for you. In fact, you should leave this place forever, and I mean that in a really good way. Like I mean that in like a I wish everyone here was like you. Again, you should not apologize to me, but you should apologize to yourself. That's what you should do. In the event that it's the case that you were not going out there and being a real human being. Where do I put this shower, man? Where does this go? Does this go here? Does this fit? Sink and mount it here. There. Okay, why doesn't it work? Give me a shower. Give me a shower omni. Let me put that shit on this end. Why is it not letting me put this on the end? Do I have to move this? I'm gonna move this. Okay. Maybe we need the glass to be a different color. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know how to mount a shower. There's not enough room to put that in here. What? Why is there not enough room? Why is there not enough room? What? It's not working. Why is it not working? There's not enough room? Why is there not enough room? Do I need to sell the roof? What do I need to do? I can't sell the roof. How am I supposed to fit a shower in that doesn't fit? Do I need to buy a different shower? Okay, what's a smaller set? Ret-ta shower. That's expensive. What about this one? Okay, this fits. Okay, good. This fits. Project Hail Mary treads the same ground as The Martian. It's widely accepted because the A-list actor killed it at their role. Yeah, it's not... I wouldn't say it's anything revolutionary or like, you know, philosophically interesting in any way. Project Hail Mary. But it's like, I feel like it's sorely needed as this sort of general optimistic triumph. I will say it's a little more American than I would have liked for it to be. But, you know, it was written by an American. And if there's one thing I know, it's that Americans don't realize how American they are. If there is one thing I know, it's that Americans do not know how American they are. Like, you know you're American, but you don't know how American you are. People who aren't American don't know how American they are. Case in point, me. I'm not American, and I don't know how American I am, even if I'm not. There's a lot of like American like defaultism. I think, I don't know if that's a word. I feel like I just made that word up, but like I really mean that. I really mean it. I know I'm American. Yeah, but you don't know how American you are. Like, you know you're American to some extent, but you don't know, like, you can't even begin to fathom. Like, okay, you can begin to fathom, but you would never truly understand what it's like not to be an American. And that's completely not like a problem. And it's kind of like, it's really like, I could never really truly understand what it's like to be a woman. Probably. Like, the most I could understand maybe to understand my experience as like a trans woman. Like, maybe if I like decided to transition later in my years, but I wouldn't have the previous 60 years of my life would not have been informed by the female experience or the woman experience. Like, you know, I wouldn't know. I would have no idea. And that's fine. 30% American. Yeah, you're all actually 30% American, which is more than you thought you were, probably. Or less than you thought you were. If it was less, then then ignore this. If it was more than what you thought, then it's exactly that. You know what? Let's get a bougie sink. For like literally no reason. Let's get a bougie sink. Get that going here in the room. In the only room that's not painted. It's leaking. Okay. I can because I've traveled and stayed overseas for an extensive period of time. So that'll begin to heal it. Yeah, that'll kind of that'll do it. Generally, being well traveled And I don't just mean, oh, you've like you've visited like a country. I mean like you've lived there and you felt what it's like to be someplace else, somewhere else. And you didn't just live in like the nicer areas. You probably went to the shittier areas or like the even nicer areas, actually, in contrast. But if you're traveling, that means you probably have the financial mobility to afford to travel as an American. Hopefully, that's what that means. And in which case you would benefit more probably from a little bit more exposure to the what's the word? The less pleasant things about existence in life. If Project Hail Mary was written by a British author, it would be bought by the BBC and reworked into a subplot arc of Doctor Who. Okay, I don't know if it would have been a subplot of Doctor Who, but it would have definitely, they would have hired somebody who would have otherwise played a doctor. Yeah. They would have definitely cast someone who could have been a Doctor Who but wasn't. They'd probably not want a previous doctor to be on it, but they would do that. Baseball pie. What you're saying makes no sense. Pie baseball. But would it have been a good episode? I don't know. I liked Project Hail Mary. I did. I really enjoyed Project Hail Mary. I feel like it was the optimism that was missing. And I really liked Ryan. I really like Ryan Gosling, man. I can't, dude. You know the meme that's like Ryan Gosling is just like me for real, and you have people like posting gifs of him going like, "This is me for sure, 100%." I never understood it.
Why is
because
the
there was
toilet
never
not
a
pressed
single
up against the wall?
It is. It's not. Why is it not? I can't fix it. I can't change it. I can't move it anymore. I can't move it anymore. I can't. You're just gonna have to accept that it's there. Okay, I can't move it. I can't move it. Another man crush? He's not a man crush because he's not like I want him. He's like me for real, right? That's the Ryan Gosling thing, right? But so far, I've enjoyed some of his performances. I've enjoyed his performance in La La Land. I've enjoyed his performance in Barbie, and I have not really watched the slightly lesser known titles prior to that point at Cyberpunk, you know, but I've never felt like this guy is me. Maybe a little bit when he was in like the snow. I think that was Cyberpunk, right? I don't remember exactly. Where he was in the snow and he was just kind of laying there. Maybe like a little bit of that I felt. But what really got me to the he's just like me for real arc was like was this movie. Now having watched Project Hail Mary, I am fully buying into 100%. I'm buying into the Ryan Gosling is me for real. Like I feel this guy. This guy is me. This guy is me. He's not all me, but he's me. He's me for sure. Have you watched Drive 2011? No, I've not. Notebook? I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of his discography, okay? I don't know. I don't really know his discography very well. Are you big enough of a Ryan Gosling that you knew he was a legit musician with his goth indie band? No, not enough, evidently. So again, this is my just like me for real awakening, okay? I do not proclaim any expertise on being literally Ryan Gosling. It's just like, this is just the beginning of that. I'm starting to feel it. I think people were right. I did not misunderstand. I underestimated how much he would be like me for real. But he was. Damn, this guy is me for real. What if we put the toilet paper holder like here? I'll move it.
Drive and Blade Runner. He plays super Kafkaesque characters. Lots of effort in an indifferent society and building plastic, inauthentic connections. Nobody is Ryan, but everyone feels Kafkaesque IRL.
Hello, Gob. That is a fantastic comment. I have to chew on that for a bit. He plays Kafkaesque characters. There's lots of effort in an indifferent society and building plastic inauthentic connections. Nobody is him, but everyone feels Kafkaesque IRL. That's so interesting because that adds a totally different dimension to, if that's true, and I don't know this because I haven't watched all of his films, and I'm kind of taking it to mean, I'm taking your analysis, your brief analysis of this to mean that you have a somewhat familiarity with his discography, at least like more than I do, and extrapolating from that he is used to playing these characters that, like, you know, build inauthentic plastic connections, as you say, with an indifferent society. And what's interesting is that's sort of present in the movie, but a subversion of that exists in the movie as well, as one of the more, like, in my opinion, like, profound, I don't know if profound is the right word, but as one of I think the most important points of the film, is actually precisely a subversion of, like, inauthentic indifference. It's this cheery, hopeful optimism that bursts beyond that. So that's his name in Blade Runner is literally Joe K. Like, Joseph K. is the main character of the trial. Like, I very much take that at surface value because I think you're cooking, but I don't know the discography enough to, like, you know, think about the other films he's done. But if that's true, then maybe you should watch, if you haven't already, watch Project Hail Mary. And if you have, tell me why, or tell me if you believe that this statement also applies to Project Hail Mary, because I think it does for half the film, and for half the film it actually hinges upon a very real and authentic connection he builds. I think that, like, awakens his, that, like, I think truly allows his character to flourish, I guess. But I don't want to, obviously, you know, talk about the movie because I think people have not watched it. Or at least that's my, like, general... that's my assessment of people in chat right now. Got to tile the fucking place before I did it. Hold on. A package of tiles would be useful. Damn it. Okay, we'll buy another one. I will illegally stream it when it's available someday. The Christian circuit loves the film for some reason. That's interesting. I don't know why that would be the case. It's not particularly spiritual. I don't know. Stream it and give me your thoughts, maybe. And, like, tell me if it, like, it applies to the statement you made, because I think that's a really interesting statement. Charis, what if we beat you for this? I wanted to say harsher words, but YouTube stopped me. That's why I don't need mods. Is because one, my mods would just be I need protecting from the mods. Secondly, YouTube does a good enough job protecting me from it. I don't need you guys. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I need more. I need like 3 more. I need 3 more tiles, but I only buy 15 in a square? Okay. Alright. 90. Okay, we're done. God damn it. Okay, whatever. Should we paint this or should we? I feel like we should paint this. Where's my paint wheel? Where's my paint? Where's my paint? I should paint this. I should paint the door frame. Okay. Okay, we painted that. I think we're done. All tasks completed. Income 12,000. God, I wish that were real money. What a depressing thing to say, Charis Euphranor. Is he still Kafkaesque when he plays an alcoholic deadbeat dad that is also a detective in The Other Guys? Look, I haven't watched that either, so I can't tell you. I haven't watched that either. Somebody else will tell you. Anyways, I really liked Project Hail Mary. It was fun. I will say that, so we went to the cinema. Okay, I'm gonna Google this really quickly. The name of this cinema really quickly to see if I completely dox where I was. If I just find it. Like, what are the locations of this cinema? What are their locations? Venues. Okay, there are loads of venues. So I don't dox myself by saying I went to this like cinema called the Everyman Cinema, and it's really funny because like when my friend suggested going to the Everyman Cinema, I was like, okay, so this is like we're going into this cinema that calls itself the Everyman Cinema. So we are going into the the generic like layperson cheapest possible venue that's probably going to be cost efficient, and they're gonna like herd us like cattle, right? Thinking that was what would happen. We load into the website, the ticket prices are double the price of like the other cinemas in the city. Like the other generic cinemas cost you like £6, £7 sometimes. I think yeah, he said the thing, he said the number, he said the funny number. Sorry, nobody here. Everyone here is middle-aged women. You wouldn't know what a 6'7" is. You're all middle-aged women. So so first of all, it was like double the price of that. And secondly, like we went onto the booking online, and there were just no seats. Or there were barely any seats. There were like probably 20 something seats per house. So we were shocked. We were like, what the hell? These seats, and they were like sofa seats. These were not individual chairs, or like, you know, not individual, but like the line of chairs that you get in like most theaters. These are like sofas. What's going on? It's a bougie cinema. Then we clicked on the information, and it said this is our luxuries like cinematic experience, and we're like, oh, okay. Just use Greg's as a stand-in to avoid doxing yourself. No, but like the irony is contributed partly by the name, which is like a real name. So if you look it up, it's like, you know, you can find it, but there are multiple venues. It's fine. They're literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm not counting all of them. There's like 30 something venues at least, so you wouldn't know where in the hell I was. Like a few days ago, which I'm not at anymore. Sofa seats are the best. I've never been in a sofa seat, so it's crazy to me that exists. We bought the tickets and went in, and we were a bit late. So we bought popcorn and drinks, and we had to just run into the cinema, into the house immediately. Otherwise, we would actually miss it, because it was, I think they play half an hour of ads usually, but for this cinema they only played 15 minutes of ads. We didn't know that at the time. We were 15 minutes late, so we assumed, okay, let's just go in, because, you know, we know that it'll probably start in another 15 minutes, but just in case, let's go in, right? And right as we sat our asses down was when the film began. Like, we saw the opening credits. It was like, oh shit, okay. We did not miss the movie. We see Ryan Gosling, and then, you know, we're like, okay, Ryan Gosling. You didn't smuggle food into the theaters, SMH? I wanted to, but I forgot to bring my backpack out. And I just thought, like, look, it's been like a whole year or something since I last watched a movie in a cinema. So I'm just going to support the film industry by buying a large popcorn. And like, originally, like, my friend just wanted water, but then I got like a cider because I'm an alcoholic. But I got a cider, and then instead of like us waiting for it, they were like, no, just go in, like, we'll deliver it to you. We're like, okay, sure. We sit down, and then the film begins, and then like maybe like 10 minutes into the film, this lady comes out from the door, and then like walks, and we're like in the middle of the theater, so we're right in people's way is what I'm trying to say. This lady comes up and like serves us our popcorn and also like our drinks, and gives us like each a fancy glass to go with the drink, because like I guess you do that at fancy theaters. You give them the drink and the glass. So instead of just like chugging the cider straight from the bottle, which was what I was accustomed to, I was now pouring it into this nice like bougie alcohol glass. I don't know if it was a wine glass or a whatever glass, probably a cider glass. I don't know what a cider glass looks like. I just drink things from, like, you know, from whichever container is near me. Okay, and I'm not a picky drinker. Anyways, this shit was like, I hope it wasn't too annoying, but my friend got really embarrassed because he was like, no, the people behind us are gonna hate us now, because like the person brought in, like, you know, our drinks and our food 10 minutes into the film. Like, it's fine, it's okay, it's, you know, this is a service they have, and I'm sure that they would understand that it's just a minor inconvenience. So it's okay. Are bougie movie theaters a novel thing to y'all in Alexandria? They've been a thing across the pond since 2016. Do y'all have IMAX in theaters at Alexandria yet? No, it's not. It's not like, it's not a novel thing. It's not a novelty. It's just I don't go to them. It's just usually when I look at the price tag, I immediately go like, okay, fuck that. That's double the price for the same fucking movie. I'm not watching that shit. But then because I was like, you know, look, it's been a whole year since I've watched the movie, and I really actually do want to see Project Hail Mary for some reason, even though I know nothing about the film. Sure, I'll pay the money. I'll go to a bougie theater. I'll do that. Never been to a theater where they serve you food. I've been, but like not for free, obviously. Like you buy the food and then they bring it to you. But yeah, it does sound really fancy. Anyways, we were not being a nuisance. I thought. I argued to my friend, and then immediately after I said that, I took my cider bottle, and I poured it into my glass. But the issue was, as I poured it, it did like a ching like sound, like the from the bottle touching the glass. And that shit reverberates because like it was a quiet scene when I did that. It was a fairly quiet scene in the movie, and everyone I'm sure in the theater heard my like glass clinking sound, and some like one person in the front like looked back briefly. They didn't look at me, but they turned their head like just briefly before turning it back, thinking like probably thinking whatever. I like initially to check out what it was, but probably thinking whatever. It's just the person pouring the drink. I'm not gonna stare at them for this. And then and then the second time I was like, oh shit, okay, that's embarrassing, right? I'm not gonna do that again. So I finished, you know, drinking the bits in the glass, and then I poured another, and I was being really careful. I was trying to be really soft with it. I was trying to, you know, I was maximizing my balance stat when I pulled the move. Ding! Does the sound again reverberates even harder for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because like I noticed it. It's probably because I was trying not to make any noise, and then it made a noise. It's probably why. At this point, nobody turns around, so I'm thankful for that. But I'm like, fuck, I can't do this. I have to like, I have to stop myself from making any noise. Anyways, like at this point, like my friend turns over to me and like looks at me like I'm like a terrorist. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean like I can't. I'm just like this is just And so like for the remainder of the film, what I did was like I just took my glass. Originally, the glasses sat next to me in like an elevated arm of the chair with like a little surface on it. So in order for me to pour it, I had to like lift my arm up a bit, and because it was really dark and I had no depth perception, and like the armrest was just a little higher than me because I'm not a very big person. I'm not a very big or tall person. Please don't take that to heart or anything. But I had to like, you know, like I had to like lift my head up a bit and like pour the drink in, and it was hard to balance. So I just took the drink and then like put it in my lap. The next time I needed to do that, I took the cider and then I poured it on there as well. Right, so the next time I had to pour my drink in, no noise, because it was like all just in midair. And then, but because it was in midair, it wasn't touching the frame of the glass. I don't know if that's the word, like the edge of it, right? It was because it wasn't touching the glass at all. I was dropping the liquid into the glass, and that made a sloshing sound. So it was even worse. It wasn't just like the cling, it was like a My friend was horrified. He was absolutely horrified. Taking notes, he's 5'6". I'm literally not 5'6". That was even worse. And then I put that shit back onto like armrest / like mini table, and then that made a noise. And then that made a noise. I was like, oh god, no, I can't drink a piece. And so then for the rest of the film, it wasn't that much left. There's probably like 30% of my cider left at that point. I just drank directly from the cider bottle. Like, it did not pour that shit in the glass. I wasn't trying to be fancy. I had a swig. I just took swigs like Demo Man from Team Fortress 2. Like, yeah, and at some point, not at some point, but throughout the movie, I think like humor is a big part of the film, or at least early on, I think it was funny. So I laughed. Nobody else in the theater was laughing. My friend was laughing too. My friend was laughing with me. We were both laughing. So my friend did not think of me any less for it, I think, because he was laughing too, right? But we were, we were both laughing, and nobody else in the theater was laughing. Nobody else was laughing. It was just me. God. Jesus just learned to be quiet. I did, and then, but it took like a while, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry my etiquette is poor. It's not that poor. My etiquette is usually really good. It's just that was a specific instance. I got hit by a really bad combo, okay? Like, normally my etiquette is superb. Normally my etiquette is absolutely superb, okay? Could you create the scene for us, like how you created someone dropping their water ball during the Genshin concert? No, I'm not recreating it, okay? I'm not recreating it. Sounds like you were in absolute pain. Like, if I make a sound, I will perish. I think, like, I don't want to embarrass people, and I'm usually really good at not embarrassing people in public. Like, I'm usually really good at handling myself in public and not drawing attention to myself. It's just like that was a series of very unfortunate
to watch an
circumstances.
American-centric film in the most British movie theater.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I guess Ryan Gosling is me for real, because he's also a little clumsy in, like, the film. Like, just a little bit. But the popcorn was good. Had that. It was not that good. It was like popcorn. It was one of the popcorns of all time. And we enjoyed the movie. We really enjoyed the movie. It was a really good movie. Project Hail Mary. So, I'm not tempted to give it like a numeric rating. Like, what is it out of 10? I don't think that's right. I feel like it's a movie that is not revolutionary. It's not like an era-defining movie. Although it might be one of the better movies that you could watch this year. And I know it's just April, but I feel like it's already one of the better ones you could watch. It's certainly one of 2 space-themed movies that are out right now. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think you're going to get the same thing from Project Hail Mary as you would like a Mario Galaxy. So you can go watch that instead, but Ryan Gosling's in this one, and he's really funny, and the characters are really funny, and I really... Like, there were emotional moments in the film, and I didn't expect to feel everything Gosling was feeling. That's what I said that's what I meant when I said, like, he's just like me for real now. Because, like, now, maybe not now, but, like, throughout the film, like, when he was happy and laughing and he was giddy, I was giddy with him, you know? He's like a school teacher, right? When he's teaching a student something, and, like, a student asks him a hard question, and he's like, I'm not answering this. I was like, that's me for real. That's me with chat, for real. And then, you know, when he's at a really emotionally intense part of the plot point, and he needs to lock in and handle business, he's locking in and he's handling business, and I'm like, that's me for real too. And then when he's being a goofball, I'm like, yes, that's me. When he's being sad because, you know, something terrible happens, I'm like, oh my god, I'm crying with him. He's literally me. He's literally me. And that's how I felt like the whole movie. After making all that noise, you should order the gaudy meal like full English in the afternoon. I'm not ordering a gaudy meal to appease the people who are not going to see me order the meal. Nor would I even if they did, okay? I'm not doing that. Anyways, like, the movie was good. And then we went to, like, an arcade where you pay, like, a certain amount of money, and you got to play all the arcade games, like, all the arcade cabinets for free for, like, a whole day. That was pretty cool. Played this, like, played this table flip game. It's like it's a Japanese arcade game where you have to, like, slam a table multiple times, and there's like a scenario. You might, if you look it up, you might find it, right? Like, table slamming arcade game. There are different scenarios. Like, one scenario is like you are the bride at the wedding or something, or are you the groom? I don't remember. And you just found out that your significant other was cheating on you. Or maybe you're in an office space and your coworkers are pissing you off, and one of them is like you're at the family dinner table, and you are the husband who has to deal with like a lot of nonsense from your wife and your kid. And there's another one that's like literally your funeral, and you are the ghost, of that funeral. You're the person who died, but everyone who's there at the funeral is like taking a piss. Who's taking the piss of you? Taking the piss at you, out of you. They're taking the piss, okay? They're just taking the piss. So there's a lot of like different scenarios where essentially you get into a fit of rage. You slam the table, which is like this part of this machine that looks like a table, and then you flip it over. And then the damage you cause is like how many points you get. And that's your like high score. It's a really fun arcade game. I wish that were a thing. I wish that were a thing everywhere else. I feel like I need that. I feel like people need that. I feel like people really need that arcade game. Like the Gintama episode about the restaurant owner. I don't know because I don't watch Gintama, but maybe. All I'll have to say is like that's my favorite arcade game probably ever, by concept alone, and the execution is not half bad. It's definitely the funniest one. I enjoyed that. So I guess that sums up my answer to your question. How have you been? That's how I've been. That's what I've been doing. Is there anything else I wanted to add to that? No, not really. That was overall the thing that happened. And you know what? I did not take it too seriously. I took it seriously in the sense that like I knew this was a fun time to be had, and I wanted the moments to be good, and I took it seriously. In that I wanted to make sure that we all, like everyone had fun. But I did not, so I was mindful of other people around me, including in the theater, even though it didn't seem like it. But I did not take it too seriously, and that when I did make mistakes, it was okay. And I moved on in my life, and I think that's the moral of today's stream. If there were to be one. Either that, or I want to start a war with like with a former Nijisanji member. It's either one of those things. I don't know which. I just, look, man, if this person spends a lot of time writing lore, then I'm a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a Grim Reaper who has existed longer than time itself. Either needs to be completely rewritten, or I'm mistaken, and I actually don't know what I'm talking about. And this is the optimal way to generate VTuber following. What's this about starting a war with Niji? It's like, okay, basically I stumbled upon a VTuber somewhat recently from a friend who did like an event for this VTuber, who talked to me about this, and I realized on stream that this was like an ex-Niji member. How would you make that lore better? I'm not saying the lore needs to be better. I don't know the lore because I haven't fucking read the lore. I don't know what the lore is. I mean, his description needs to be better, because the description, I'm a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a Grim Reaper who has existed longer than time itself, contains, first of all, 7 redundant words at the end. Second of all, contains a very, frankly, generic and kind of uninteresting idea of I'm possessed by the Grim Reaper. Look, if I just look for devil or Grim Reaper or demon motifs in VTubers that exist, I'm going to surmise that it's at least 20% of all VTubers. I'm going to surmise that 20% of VTubers have some sort of demonic, satanic, like evil, edgy theme to it, okay? 20%. I would say a good 50% are animal VTubers, okay? A good 50-60% are animal VTubers. So it's not the most generic thing, but it's like, you know, it's there. And I'm a primary school teacher. It makes no damn sense to me because his character is not a teacher. There's nothing he's done that is actually teaching anything. He has an aesthetic that is a teacher aesthetic in that he has like a whiteboard and he has like chalk. So he has a blackboard and he has chalk in his like just chatting like screen. That's it. And I haven't watched the stream, so I'm not being fair, but maybe at some point in the stream he goes like, you know, here's a teachable moment or whatever. But all I'm saying is, I'm on his channel and I'm clicking Command F, or like I'm on the search bar trying to look for algebra, I'm trying to look for geometry, I'm trying to look for like English grammar, I'm trying to look for like sciences, I'm trying to, like, nothing is popping up. Nothing educational is actually popping up. So I must just assume that it doesn't really mean anything. In other words, if you've played this game called Date Everything, he is a bit like, he is a teacher the same way Sophia from Date Everything was Santa Claus. Sophia is the
On a
safe character who,
semi-serious
like, well
note,
plays.
sounds like this person understands how to appeal to a larger, and less discerning, audience.
Yes, on a semi-serious note, that I would say is largely maybe the assessment I'm walking away with, right? I think it is very much like a, like, this is exactly, I'm saying this is not good, but actually what I might be thinking is I don't like this. Or someone like me would not like this. But he's not trying to capture someone like me. He's trying to capture someone like his audience. And his audience would probably eat that up. Because I don't think his audience actually cares for, like, an artistic attempt to like, portray a character that's a teacher. I think his audience cares about the fact that, like, this is not that he's a teacher, this is teacher roleplay in, like, a sexual dimension or something, because that's what he sells, right? I think to some extent. And I'm not saying you are a worse content creator for doing that. Again, I'm not saying, I would not ever criticize someone by saying, oh, like, you know, they're just selling their sex appeal, that's, like, uninteresting to me. I would not, that would not be valid criticism from me as someone who has BFE ASMR on his channel, okay? That would not make sense. It would not make sense for me to levy that criticism at him. Now, frankly, I'm doing something that's a little different, yeah. But nonetheless, on the surface at least, we have things in common. Is Stephen Hawking just reading chats randomly? First of all, this is Parrot you're referring to. Parrot reads chats, I want to say maybe 10% of the time, 8% of the time. Your first chat per stream is guaranteed to be read. So another way to read it is, this is a gacha games, this is how a gacha game is. This is how the gacha game works. You log into the Charis Euphranor chat daily, or, like, you know, whenever he streams, and then you type in a phrase, and your first roll every day is guaranteed to be a 5-star, and then every subsequent roll is like a 10% chance or something. His body is completely biased towards me, actually. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case at the moment, but that would have been a really funny comment to have it read out. How does that ex-Niji VTuber lore compare to Mori Calliope's lore? Mori Calliope's lore is fucking whatever. I don't care about Mori Calliope's lore, man. Mori Calliope's lore is not good. I would say her kayfabe is good in that she commits to it, but her lore is like, I'm the Grim Reaper. And it's like, okay, that's not interesting. But you have to realize, Mori Calliope came 6 years ago. Was it 6 years ago? It was like 6 years ago, right? 6 years later, this guy wrote, I'm a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a Grim Reaper who has existed longer than time itself. I mean, I didn't even get into the whole point that I didn't even get to the whole, this sentence is kind of clunky. Like, having who was this, who has this, extends the sentence. It's running on, okay? The sentence, it's a run-on sentence, okay? You're a teacher. You claim to be a teacher. And yet you have written and yet the second line of your description is a run-on sentence. Have you no shame? Have you no shame in this academic sphere? Disgraceful. Sorry. Excuse me. Anyways, Mori Calliope, like, existed 6 years ago. So you, like, if this description existed 6 years ago, I would be more lenient, but it existed 6 months ago. This shit is newer than me. I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying I existed before this, and so he should have started taking notes, you know? That's what he should have done. He should have taken notes. He should have taken some notes from the Charis Euphranor channel and, like, the lore there, and been like, damn, okay, that's how you write. Now that's how you write VTuber lore. That's crazy. I gotta get on that. I gotta learn. He didn't learn from the best. He didn't learn from the master, okay? He did not. He has no excuse, okay? It's like how can you have no excuse for making shit anime, like, after Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood exists. Like, before 2009 to 2013, I think that was its run time. Was it 2009 to 2012 maybe? No, hold on. FMAB. Wait a second. 2009 to 2010. Okay, it started 2009 and ended 2010. I was thinking of something else. Like, it's, you have no excuse to make when you make a shit anime post 2010, because post 2010 you can learn from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and you can understand and analyze what made it good. And if you make something that's complete and utter garbage and you took no notes from Fullmetal Alchemist, that's on you. That's actually on you. That's your failing as a creator, okay? So likewise, in the same way, if you make a shit anime post 2010, you have no one to blame but yourself, because Fullmetal Alchemist exists and it literally is like the blueprint for what makes something good. I existed like 1.5 years ago, okay? I'm older than the fucking guy. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know how to read it, frankly. And I don't want to I also don't want to call this guy's name out directly, because then it would just actually be me unironically hating on somebody, and I don't want to do that. But but I existed, okay? The blueprint was there and he didn't follow it. Is the beef here that this guy's lore sucks? No, yeah, it's not actually beef. The beef is like, I think the second line in his description on his channel is ass, and I'm also bitter and jealous because this guy has like 2 magnitudes more success than I do. Like, I'm on 700 subs in a year and a half. This guy's on half a year and he's got 70,000. So it's largely like bitter jealousy. It's totally that. There's nothing meaningful or legitimate about this beef at all, other than the fact that I'm bitter and jealous. Okay, I just want that to be the takeaway. I want that to be known. Didn't you when you wrote, right? Didn't you know when you write in Mi familia es los muertos and not fix it? Yeah, but like, that's what made it funny, right? Homeowners wondering why this guy they hired is taking so long to fix up their glorified basement, only to check the cabs and watch him run around their yard for days and jump on their bed. And I'll continue doing it too. They can't stop me. This is just the way I work. This is what they get. This is what they pay for, okay? When they hire like a professional. That's me. I'm the professional. Unironically, are you aware that Axe was raising you on stream last night as an example of a good male VTuber with good lore? I was not, Tia. I have the Axe stream on a new tab. What that means is, like, I normally, when I want to watch something, I'll put it on watch later, right? But if I want to watch something like immediately, like in my next available convenience, I will not put it in watch later. I'll just put it in my new tab, because I'm like, okay, because every time I open up my browser, I'll see the tab and I'll think I should watch that now. Get rid of that, because if you put too many tabs in your browser, it like congests your system, right? So like, that's me trying to say I literally am going to watch that stream next. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like, that's the literal next thing I'm going to do. But thank you, X. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. If he's ex-Niji, that pretty much means his anonymous digital footprint is forfeit and forums are scrambling to track his every move so you win out. Yeah, that's true. I think like he is very much like his success is secured almost. It's a weird way to say that, but like, because if you're a big corpo person who was not like a piece of shit, and even if you were a piece of shit, I don't think he was. I think he was just like caught in unfortunate circumstances, right? Is why he had to graduate. So like, you know, it's not like anyone has bad blood with him. And if you like just do that and you just start a new persona, people will know and flock to you very quickly, right? I understand that. I completely understand that. Also, he has a very attractive voice. Have they mentioned this? He has a very attractive voice, and he weaponizes that attractive voice to get views and followings. And I can't hate the player. I can't hate the player. All I can do is hate the game. Also, isn't everyone affiliated with Niji like the VTuber equivalent to being a Nazi? I didn't say that. That is not a claim I'm making. That is not a claim I'm making. I don't know. I just know that certain things have shaken down at Niji-sanji, and the reason why I'm okay about talking about this publicly is because I have not, and I will never have the intention of applying to an agency that treats its talents that way. So I don't have to worry about burning any potential bridges with like an EG, because it's like, fuck those. Not like the talents, not the talents. I don't know the talents. I don't really care about the talents. Fuck like the agency, okay? I'm not working with that. I'm not working with that shit.
Hashtag justice for Solan.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Paris. That was like the main thing. That was what I meant by like I have beef with this one guy. I don't actually have beef. This guy's lore is just so boring. Okay, not his lore. I'm mistaken. Let me redo it. Okay, because I don't actually know his lore. I think his premise in his YouTube description is bad. I'm not criticizing this guy whole person's lore just from his description. Okay, I haven't read his lore, and frankly, I'm not really interested. If someone else can read it and say that it's good, then maybe I'll think about it, right? But currently, at the moment, I have no reason to. And the description on his YouTube channel is weak sauce and uninteresting. And I expected more from someone who has industry experience and is likely, you know, someone very well versed in chuuni shit. Now, I say all this, but maybe what I think is bad is actually good. Maybe what I think is lazy and is just a simple run-on sentence with no substance or like clarity or like any sort of forethought. It seemed like it was a rough draft like that's been come up with in 10 minutes. Maybe that's what it seems like to me, but maybe that's what his target audience wants. And if that's he's not looking for me. His content is not looking for me. I understand that. So because I just happened to stumble upon it and I looked at it, didn't like it, and moved on, I guess I'm not it. I guess he does not want me. Not me personally. He wants you, dear viewer, who is statistically a middle-aged woman with money. He wants you to go and buy the ASMR. That's what he wants, I think. And so do I. And I think that's what makes us not so different. This is me. This is literally Green Goblin rooftop dot gif, okay? Was the title of this stream self-reflection? Oh yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is self-reflecting. Yeah, self-reflection. It started off as like me thinking about somebody else, and then it became me thinking about me. Like it started off as me thinking like this guy in my comments, on my there's this one guy on my April Fool's video that made a serious comment that was like, "Wow, you say you have a master's degree in philosophy, yet you use the word good nebulously and don't define your terms or outline a framework in this 1 minute 40-second video that's essentially a shitpost." And like I took that comment to heart, not because like I'm like, no, somebody hates my content, but it's because like it's the person was so close to understanding it, because he was like, this is obviously a work of sarcasm, so he understands that it's, you know, there's a layer of irony to it, right? But he just didn't understand what to do with the irony. And so it's like seeing someone almost understand you. Like this guy was probably like 2 out of 3 steps into understanding Charis Euphranor. Oh no, he was 2 out of 3 steps into understanding like the video. I think he was a very far shoot from understanding Charis Euphranor, but he was like 2 out of 3 steps in understanding the video. But instead of like, you know, reflecting on that, he just posted a comment that's like, your thing sucks. You just wanted to do it for views. Like there's like I cared. Like there's some vitriol in there because he was trying to attack me. Like he wasn't just saying like, you know, this is engagement bait, which is true. It is engagement bait. But he insinuated that this is engagement bait because all you care about is engagement. And I'm like, man, like you're so close. It is engagement bait, but it's not engagement bait because I care about engagement. It's engagement bait because it's meant to comment on like the and then, you know, like, and then I had to stop myself to go like, this is some guy on the internet. This is some person on the internet that I don't know, but I'm getting all worked up at it because I'm like, you know, I'm trying to. You were so close to understanding my art. Please, just if you just went back and listened to it like again and just thought about it a little bit more, and like whatever. And then that's when the stream title came to mind. I can't get over being diagnosed a middle-aged woman with money. Okay, maybe with that, maybe not with money. That part might not be true because I don't really make any money doing this. So maybe you're not a middle-aged woman with money. I just sort of assumed everyone has money to some extent. Because people have money. People don't have enough money. That's like a thing in the world. Like most people don't have enough money, and like a very small amount of people have way too much money. But you know, we're not going to talk about that in terms that are more nuanced than that. They had a good thing going, those stupid sons of bitches. They had clout, they had corporate sponsorship, and it all ran like clockwork. They just had to blow it up with their pride and their ego. I don't know if it ran like clockwork, but yeah. The best way to rage bait Charis is to almost get it. Yes, that's probably the most effective. No, but the thing is, it's not rage. It's not rage. I ultimately feel sorry for this person. Like, I want this person to come back. I would be, you have no idea how happy I would be if this person came to a stream and started, like, berating me and insulting me. But, like, what's actually probably happened is this person is gonna block my channel or click not interested and never give me a chance again. That sucks, because it's like, I feel like, you know, I could really share like an intellectual sympathy here. Like I just think that you almost got it. You're so close. Just think a little bit harder about what you said, and then you can understand and appreciate the thing I did. And then if you then don't appreciate and understand the thing I did, at least you understood it, and then you can criticize it properly. That's the thing with criticism, is I want criticism from people who understood it but didn't like it. Most of the criticism I get from people is people who didn't understand it at all. It's like it's tiring. I want actual feedback. Whatever. I don't have enough money, says the 1-year member. Lackey, like, that's funny. That is true. But I will also defend and say that membership costs the lowest possible amount based on your currency, whatever that is, because that's the way I said it, okay? He wants to get insulted live on stream. Yeah, because then I get to fight back. Then I get to go like, no, you misunderstood. You're so close to understanding. Here, let me walk you through this. And then if he, you know, eats humble pie for a moment and goes, okay, yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't really think about it that way. That's cool. But I don't really like your channel or whatever. I just wanted to come in and insult you. I'd be like, that's fine. You can go away and leave. It's just, you know, I just hope that you learn from this and think next time before you write a comment on YouTube. But who cares? It doesn't matter. It's literally, I'm having the same crash out that the narrator had in the Stanley Parable with like Cookie Nine's comment on Steam. That's actually me for real. What I've learned is two things, okay, that recently. That Ryan Gosling is me for real, and also the Stanley Parable writer Davey Reedon is also me for real. He's at the time of the month when he yearns eagerly to argue and convert people. You got me there. Savior complex. It's not like save. I don't want to save this person. I just want this person to come away having been a little bit more educated. Not in the sense that they've learned more facts about their life, but like in that they've understood the importance of reflection. Just like, it doesn't have to come from me. It could be from anyone else and any other source. I just hope that it happens at some point. If you really want to insult someone, you can just insult me. What part of I don't actually want to insult anyone did you not understand, Lackey? Like, are you even paying attention? Are you even listening? Hello? Are you even... You don't need to waste brainpower on semantic drones. If your argument doesn't read like a gas station receipt, you will never have good faith dialogue. Yeah, and it sucks, you know. I just feel like there's a way to change that. But, and my conclusion from my academic experience is it's not through academic experience. Is the way you change this is not via academia. That is not how it works. You're feeding into the machine and it's at least I don't want to fight it. Okay, let me rephrase this. I think maybe you can, incite meaningful change via academia. I couldn't, because I can't tank the paper pumping. I can't do it. I can't pump it. I can't tank it. I'm too weak. I'm too weak. It's a skill issue on my front. For the record, I've never watched Niji, but had bad vibes about it for years when that news broke. Never gonna touch that corporal with a 10-foot pole, and I expect the same of an ally of justice. Yeah, it's Same for me, where I've never actually watched them, so I can't in good faith say like, oh, I was a fan for years and I was betrayed and heartbroken because I wasn't. But I did get bad vibes. I did get bad vibes when that broke, and I was like, yeah, it's I don't know about this. You know, like I had like a initially just bad vibes where I thought this can't be noble and selfless. Some part of this has to be like you are a cog in the machine, viewer, and like understanding the way the events are run and the way like this person runs streams and the other people run streams, I can't help but feel like people are being farmed, and I kind of want the farming of people to stop. You know what I mean? And I don't want to evaluate on that any more than I already have spent the 3 hours today droning on and on about it. I watched Charis Euphranor to learn how to gaslight others and myself, lol. Look, I'm really good at many things, and gaslighting is probably one of them, but like I would never do that to you. I would never gaslight you, nor would I ever gaslight myself. That's just, it's never happened, and it will never happen, okay? I just want you to know that if it does happen, you're insane. And you probably misunderstood. And if you didn't misunderstand, then it's like you misheard. And if you didn't mishear, then it's like you just didn't get it. If you didn't not get it, then you weren't paying enough attention. If you weren't paying enough attention, it's because you need to quick buy like membership right now. Buy membership right now. Buy it for somebody else. Buy it for your friends and family. Buy membership. Buy it for your friends and family. Case in point. Anyways, wow, it was totally all my fault. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end stream now. It was pretty good. That was a good stream. I feel good about this stream. Is it how you treat all the middle-aged women in your life, SMH? No. This is how I treat some middle-aged women in my life. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. I think I'm done with today's stream. I'm going to stream something tomorrow, probably. I don't know what to stream tomorrow. I was thinking about doing a Class of 09 stream, reacting to it for like the farm, to like farm it to get the clout from it, but like really, it's 3 minutes. I can't make content out of a 3-minute video. At least I can't dedicate the whole stream to that. I could maybe do like a Class of 09 retrospective with that if I so chose to, but I really am not in a, I'm really not in a Class of 09 mood right now. I'm so disinterested in the franchise at the moment. So eventually I'll come back to it, and then at that point I'll react to it maybe. I'll do like a retrospective. But it wouldn't be like a new thing drop, let's see, you know. Stream Jazzpunk tomorrow? Man, what's Jazzpunk again? If it's a really good game, I'd like for it to be a thing. When will you fight people? Probably not. I probably won't fight anyone. Can you raid into Axe? He's live in 2 minutes. Is he? I was gonna check that, but thank you for reminding me. Jazzpunk. Saw my wish list. I haven't bought it yet. I know it was on sale a while ago. I didn't buy it because I don't have any money. Or rather, I do, but I... Never mind. Shut up. I will buy Jazzpunk eventually, and then I'll play it, okay? Needs to stay streaming for another 2 minutes. Then 2 minutes is nothing for for a guy like me. I'm starting to pick up on the NLisms a bit too much. I'm sorry. I was gonna say like a guy like me, and I had a hard reset where I was like, I am Charis Euphranor, the first and last librarian, the first and last philosopher YouTuber, the last librarian of Alexandria. Anyways, I think like my biggest like harshest critique of this guy who claims to be a primary school teacher who was possessed by the soul of a grim reaper who has existed longer than time itself, other than the fact that the second part of your description, which is your lore, right, is a run-on sentence, even though you claim to be a school teacher, so you should know that run-on sentences generally do not lend well to literary like flow, but whatever. Other than that, the fact that this guy has no videos like explaining basic algebra or like geometry or like, you know, the way plants work, or I don't know what else they teach in primary. Like the fact that none of those things exists at all in any capacity is disappointing. And when I say that, I understand fully the inclination to look at Charis Euphranor and click on his videos and realize none of them are philosophy. Nothing here is philosophical. Nothing. I mean, I've done some streams where I read Plato. Nobody cared. I did some streams where I read, like, Kierkegaard, and I talk about him a lot. Nobody really cares. I did, like, a stream reading the Communist Manifesto. Nobody really cared. I did a stream explaining, like, I did fucking, like, 4 or 5 streams reading the entirety of a book from Nick Bostrom about AI, the philosophy of AI. Nobody really cared. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna do things because nobody cared. I'm just saying there's a pattern that I've noticed, and you can't fault me for not trying to do philosophical content. And more importantly, there is eventually going to be philosophical content where I do a video on the trolley problem, which is everyone's favorite philosophical thing. And then I'll have finally content. I'll have content. Okay. Deltarune tomorrow? Is that shit on sale right now? Did I buy it? I don't remember. I did not buy it. It is not on sale. I'll join the Deltarune like hype train like later at some point. My grandkids have been constantly pestering me to play it. They're like, Charis, you should play it. You should play Deltarune. It's so good because the bosses. And then I asked them why it's good, and their explanation for why it's good is a description of the game. So I have to kind of be like, okay, that's cool, but like, can you not spoil the game for me? Can you just tell me why you enjoyed it rather than what you enjoyed about it? And they haven't been able to grasp that yet, truly. So that's something I'm working on with my grandkids. But in the meantime, please don't ever read Nick Bostrom ever again. Look, I'm not a big fan, and right now I'm still not. But I thought the book had something interesting to say. I don't think it really did, but it gave me the insights that allowed me to now make that claim. Kind of like philosophers with GTO PFPs, kind of like that, yeah. Long shot, but isn't framing oneself a teacher like a cop-out to say that I have some kind of intellectual authority and I have creative license to perform it? Yeah, but the intellectual authority is not extended into anything beyond simple roleplay, is the issue. I think if this guy started just like spouting controversial statements about stuff, I would find that more interesting. But he doesn't even do that. He's very safe. He plays things very safe and kind of just does the general VTuber stuff. Plays the big games that everyone's playing. Does the Just Chatting streams. Puts in the hours. Puts in the work to be one of the VTubers of all time. Okay, that's actually harsh criticism. Like, I take that back. That sounded way too mean. I said a lot of mean things in this stream, but that actually sounded a bit too mean. I'm gonna take that back. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were like a Nichi-sanji fan. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I kind of meant it, but I didn't want to say it. I don't know. Can you do a stream about the Kierkegaardian critique of Hegel? Every Marxist is a closet Hegelian, so you also rage bait them. You know what, Gob? I've been thinking about that a lot. Not as a stream concept, but as just like a general philosophical move in my life. Like the Kierkegaardian critique of Hegel. Because I buy it, I think. I've bought into it. I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense to me, and it helps me reconcile my hesitations towards towards Hegel. And why I seem to have an affinity for Kierkegaardian like understandings of things. But I don't know, but I haven't read enough Hegel to be like, yeah, this is real. Because there sure as shit will be Hegelian responses to this. to the general critique that I'm frankly not very familiar with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go talk to my like Hegelian friends and like ask them what they think. I'm going to try to lay out the Kierkegaardian critique as best as I can. I'm going to have like a live, like a no, not a live, like I have a demonstration or like an argument or like a debate or at least like some sort of discussion that helps me understand where those criticisms come from and whether or not they are like criticisms that have some sort of resolution, or maybe not resolution, but like where the tension is, I guess, is trying to locate where the tension is. Because it's not so much in the system itself that is the issue. It's not so much the logic of the system, the way it works. It's all sound. It's beautiful. But it's sort of like, it's the analogy really Kierkegaard raises where it's like, Hegel is like the most skilled ballet dancer that has jumped the highest anyone's ever jumped. And I think that's exactly how I feel about it, where it's like, it is perfect, but this jumping motion, according to the critique, right, has been misunderstood almost as a real way of attaining flight. And it's one thing to admire a dancer and their ability to jump really high, but it's another to delude oneself and into thinking, well, that's flight, isn't it? That's basically flight. When it's not flight, it's a jump. I think that's I love that analogy. There's this aestheticization of like school teachers, like they're smart enough to be authority but not uptight enough to be academics. You know what, that might be it. And it's less that, it's less like, oh, they're an intellectual authority, but more like they're an authority in general in like a psychosexual dynamic. Maybe that's what that is. I gotta think about that. Yes, whether Hegel sticks to landing depends on his audience. I like that. That's a good follow-up. Either or can be read as a giant Hegelian polemic. The title can be read as a pistic because the dialectic is both and. It is definitely partly a pistic. Like, Kierkegaard loved taking the piss. He loved taking the piss. Kierkegaard loved making fun of like other people. It was a thing he enjoyed doing, it seemed. Not only something he did, but something he enjoyed doing, and something that I imagined he believed served a purpose beyond just whimsical humor. Like I believe I believe he believes that this extends beyond just being funny, and actually builds into the shape of the critique, right? But I don't know enough about Kierkegaardian irony and humor to give you a full lecture on it right now as I wrap up my like 3.5-hour stream on like where I house flip and talk about nonsense. So I'm going to, so thank you. That's insightful. I'll think about that. I'm sorry that the stream ended on a rather serious and academic note that was probably of interest to nobody except like 2 people here, but that's fine. We're gonna raid into Axion streaming, who is streaming Scarlet Hollow. If you haven't already jumped ship. If you haven't already jumped ship and left me for that, which, you know, I understand why you would do that. I understand why you would leave me for Axe. I'm not offended. I'm not offended, okay? I get why people would leave me for Axe. Anyways, here's the link. We don't have a raid message. I think our
https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=null t60epux8.
Okay, anyways, that's the stream link. Everyone go say Charis Euphranor was here, maybe. You're a VTuber, how are you not versed in humor? You'd be surprised. Most of them aren't. You'd be surprised at how many VTubers are not funny and actually just fucking boring and generic. But we're gonna start that war sometime in the future. Not right now, but maybe as I get closer to this inevitable existential crisis that seems to be boiling up in the Charis Euphranor psyche. Everyone go say Charis Euphranor was here in Axion's chat, and as I end the stream and go away forever. I might stream tomorrow, I might not, and if I stream tomorrow, I don't know what I'll be streaming. So don't hold your breath. I might not be back tomorrow, but I'll probably be back like next Wednesday, maybe. We'll go do that. Okay, get out of here and go into Axe's stream. Thank you. Please play Valhalla. I'll buy it for you. Don't buy me a game, because if you buy me a game, I'm gonna be, like feel Like I have to play it and I don't want to do that. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, go into access stream now. Goodbye.